All right, chat. Let's see here. Oh shit, was you? Oh shit, was no one getting sound? Yikes! My fault, people. My bad. My bad. I'll get that squared up. And I got it. My fault. There's two different sources that I'm working with here. That one I'm experimenting with. My fault. All right, so I'll make sure that's fixed up later, though. You got my word on that. All right, guys, welcome to the chat. This is probably going to be short. Yeah, it's probably gonna be short compared to normally what I normally do. I wanted to start earlier, but I got caught up this morning. It's a thing. It is what it is. But yeah, my fault on that. Don't worry, the outro music will be good. I got you on that. So a couple things to kind of go over, and then that'll be a wrap. I think for our stream. So first thing is, my understanding is DSP spoke about the Kino Casino situation yesterday as it pertains to their back and forth with the quartering. The way it was explained to me, he said like a whole lot of nothing, which kind of makes sense because Jeremy, or the quartering, is the largest, or quarter pounder is the larger channel out of the two between Kino Casino and himself. Even though he's not nearly as relevant, but he's a flagger, so there's that. So DSP is going to wants to kind of stay on the winning side with that, but he doesn't want to invoke any more bullshit from the Kino Casino audience. So I guess he's just trying to hedge his bets. What any typical coward would do. Big ups, chat. So I'm not really surprised on how that panned out or how that played out. My overall thoughts, I guess, I would have to sit there and actually listen to it, but we might actually listen to a little bit of it. But DSP's just trying to hedge his bets. Like, basically, he's play in the middle of the road, let fucking the quartering take all the heat, and DSP reaps all the benefits. Because it's very clear that DSP wants Kino Casino to stop, but he doesn't have any influence, any power, or anything. So why not just have why not have quarter poundering do it? So it makes sense, sorta. It kind of makes sense the way DSP's trying to play that out. In any case, though, just in case the title hasn't given me away, chat, we're going to actually go back a little bit. DSP was talking about the nostalgia critic and the angry video game nerd, right? And how that little trifecta nonsense they have going on. And that gave me an idea. And you know how much I love ideas. So, first things first, let me pull up the video in question that I need. No, actually, no. Let's do this. Let's go about this another way. Let me actually show you guys the original DSP clip when he talks about the nostalgia critic and angry video game nerd and how he, I guess he says how he got his start. Let's go with that, and then I'll go ahead and we'll pull up the blip.tv situation, because I didn't know until relatively recently. Big ups to the individual who laid this out for me. But apparently someone actually has the original, or it seems to be, the original uncut version of DSP's blip.tv video. I've only seen the edited version, the LD rendition. I've never seen the actual raw uncut version of it. So this will be different. this will be different, to say the very least. So, first things first, let me see when DSP had this crash out again. Let's see, this was on... Was that on his birthday when he did that? Now that I think about it, give me a second, chat. Give me just a second. I'll see if I can try to find this crash out for you. Or at least the date. Let's see here. Is it right here?
You can do voice response.
Give us a cat call.
Comments. I didn't know that. I was...
All right, got it. It was on the 13th. It was on the 13th. Late stream, early stream. Here we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys Hopefully you guys Saturday is going well. To be honest, I'm sure DSP's isn't. I heard he had a little bitch fest about him trying to resurrect his KO community creations program, which is basically his edited content. Apparently he's mad that it doesn't fit. He doesn't understand why it's not picking up. Yet again, the way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. That's all it is. It's this whole edited content and the whole zooming in and, oh, it makes me look bad. It has all my crash outs. He doesn't understand what makes detractor content entertaining, which is funny. It's funny. It's expected, but it's kind of funny because he hasn't learned shit. You've had this hate mob on you for over a decade and you still haven't figured anything out. Let's see here. Let's see here. Video game nerd. So I find that shit absolutely hilarious. Which just goes to show, chat, that he was nothing more than a fluke. To be honest, he was never anything but that. GN. Let's see here. Still nothing, really. I'm pretty confident this is it. Give me just a second, chat. Pretty confident this is it. Let's see. Pretty confident. Okay, here we go. People believe automatic biased, an agenda, detractor content. All right, we'll start with this and then we'll jump around. Okay, so let me bring you guys in. Okay. Let's see here. Let me make sure all my ducks are in a row. Nope. And everything is good on your end over there. What's up, chat? Oh, speaking of which, before one of you guys point this out, and then I just forget to do it. There you go. That's the new one that I came up with. Same chick. Same lovely lady. Okay. So, all right, we'll start from here, and we'll see if I can find what I'm looking for.
Video about my playthrough of Demon Souls, only in the hopes to come to the conclusion that they could prove I didn't do the dupe glitch? Of course not. The whole reason I'm in a position in my life where this shit doesn't affect me anymore. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It doesn't have any impact. I've gotten to the point where I'm good. You know, but some people just can't handle it, and not everyone's made the same way. You know, some people just can't take that level of scrutiny, that level of online harassment, and you know, seriously, I mean it. You know, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone out there to get that level of crap dumped on them on a daily basis. For nothing. For what? It's gotten so boring. These people have gotten so boring. Let's go back 13 years and find something to complain about that Phil did. Huh? You had to go back 13 years and make a 2-hour video about something that actually isn't true? Now you're really at the bottom of the barrel. Really. You're getting pretty desperate.
Sounds like a whole lot of coke if you ask me, but that's just me, though.
Huge viewer base for this kind of content.
Got it. Okay, here we go.
I said and did things that were very irreverent, that were purposefully meant to get attention for myself. Sexual comments, racial comments, things that were over the top and inappropriate because I had a teen audience. I did it on purpose to get that attention every day so people would watch my video. Okay? After doing this for many years and getting tons of attention on myself and kind of blowing up for doing it, basically, things started to fall apart because people were...
So you blew up for all the wrong reasons and yet your dumb ass kept doing it. Okay, I wasn't expecting to catch that, but sure, why not?
Pissed at me for some of the things that I had said and did. Saying that, why was I so extreme to this way or that way, right? Like, I'm pretty sure if you go back and you see Markiplier or Maximilian, they probably didn't say anywhere on the level of the racial comedy, the sexualized comments, and the things that I said back in the day. They never did that stuff. Not at all. Right? No. So, number one, I was already inadvertently setting the groundwork for a detractor community to have grounds to try to come after me. Okay? And then on top of doing all of that, okay, there was... Whoa.
So he admitted that it was his fault. Basically, you're literally admitting that the reason why you have detractors, trolls, Asian critics is all because of you. There is no evil AJ. There is no, this is how you don't play. It's none of that. It's literally your fault. Okay, I mean, that's a start.
Careful. There was a situation where This Is How You Don't Play started, right? People started making fun of me. And instead of embracing it and laughing at it and making jokes about it and being a part of it, I got very angry about it. I basically had the worst possible reaction. Oh, these people don't have the right to make fun of me. Who are they? I'm holier than thou. My shit doesn't stink. Worst possible reaction that I could have had to that. Okay? So not only did I do things in a way that were very...
He's having a real hard time admitting that he fucked up. He's trying to admit it, but he's having a real hard time dealing with that. Great screenshot, by the way.
Immature and irreverent and inappropriate for long-term success. But then I got angry.
But wait, doesn't that go against your narrative? Because didn't you say you started this with no inkling or any actual pursuit of making this into a career? All right, whatever.
When people started criticizing me for said stuff. You know, he actually isn't a good gamer. Why is he successful? Well, fuck you. My videos get views, right? That was my response. How dare you make this video?
That's a dumb response, though. Hey, you're shit at what you do. Oh, I still get views, so ha ha ha. That's not a good response. That's not addressing what the core problem is. Oh, I make shit content and people laugh at me because I make shit content. But you getting views on it doesn't justify it. It's still shit content. Whatever.
About me. You didn't ask me permission. You know, you don't have the right to do this. I should have reacted in a completely different way. You know, I should have. That's on me. It isn't. So today,
man, look at Jasper. Look at Jasper. Looks like he wants to fucking rip Phil's balls off right now. God damn, bro. Look at what happened to you. We left you in there too long, Jasper. That's what happened. We left you in there too long. And I'm sorry. God damn, we left you in there way too long. Holy shit. Everything DSP touches turns to shit. God damn, Phil.
I've completely changed.
That boy is angry. Look at that cat. That cat is angry. He has seen some shit. If Jasper could tell us the stories that guy has seen and heard. Holy shit.
Who I am. I don't do that kind of commentary or content anymore. Everyone knows this. Right? I accept valid criticism. Valid criticism.
Yeah, facts. Like Maximilian and like Markiplier, no one's gonna, is gonna nominate either one of those guys for sainthood or for sainthood and whatnot. But they weren't utter pieces of garbage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they've both done shit. Don't get it twisted. Neither one of them are clean. They've both done shit for sure. For the most part, they owned up to it, and or it was for the pursuit of content. DSP has always told you that, oh, it was an act. It was a gimmick. It was a joke, and no one understood the joke, and that's why everybody hates me. That's not what he's saying here. Right here, he's blatantly admitting, I made trash content to lure kids to watch me, and then it backfired. And everybody turned out to hate me. But I still kept making it. So, was it really a gimmick? Or was it something that you did on purpose because that's who you are? And that's why you never changed. It makes you think.
Right? Not this nonsense about, oh, 13 years ago you did this. No, I didn't. You're a fucking idiot. You know? But value.
And then he's still responding to it badly. Every time if you have to put an insult behind everything, it shows that you can't accomplish anything. Quite frankly.
Criticism I will accept. And all the time I listen and I try to improve depending on what you guys say, you know? But that's what it is.
So I'm still selective of what I do, and I still want to be in control of it. Well, then that's not really taking criticism if you're just picking and choosing what you're comfortable with. But womp womp.
Why did Maximilian and Markiplier not have big detractor communities? Because they're not me. They were in a situation where coming into content creation, they had a track record of people doing it before them. They saw some of the mistakes you can make. They had people to learn from. They made different.
They didn't really learn from you though. You weren't even in their peripherals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not even true. He makes it sound like they came up doing what he did, and that wasn't the case. Like, Max was playing like Call of Duty shit and like early fighting game stuff early on. Like even now, if Black Ops 2 was actually like relatively hacker free, and even Black Ops 1, some of his tactics still hold up to this very day. You know what I'm saying? And then Markiplier started like with the Five Nights at Freddy's craze. Well, he did something before that, obviously. What it was, I don't care. But he kind of got big off of that. And then when PewDiePie really came in with the screaming genre, he latched onto that shit. He moved off that. But that has nothing to do with DSP. But it's funny that he doesn't bring PewDiePie up because he says that PewDiePie used to be in his comment section. PewDiePie used to watch him back in the day. So why aren't you bringing him up as an example of someone who you quote unquote pioneered, that you were a pioneer or a trailblazer for, and you laid down the groundwork for his success? Oh, he can't, because fucking PewDiePie is a multi-millionaire, and he's married, and he has a kid, and he's in a country that he wasn't born in, but he doesn't mind learning the language and getting along with the people. You know, all the things that DSP swears that he did and he didn't actually do, and now he's stuck. Makes you think.
Kinds of content, say, oh, I can't be doing that over the top crazy shit. You get in trouble for that.
Well, no, it's just retarded. It was just retarded bottom of the barrel content. It was content that served no purpose and therefore it had no longevity. Even if DSP was just thinking from paycheck to paycheck, which is clearly what he was, he keeps crying and complaining these days about legacy, but your legacy is garbage. You're literally admitting right here that everything you did was to garner attention for yourself. You didn't build shit. You didn't establish shit. You didn't fucking try to push anybody or anything forward. You just made trash content because you thought kids and teenagers were stupid and that's what they would be receptive to. And then you admit that they turned on you. So what'd you do it all for?
So instead, I'll go this way or I'll go that way, right? Maximilian was known for doing very high quality skits.
Okay, so how did you lay down the groundwork for him when you weren't doing high quality skits?
Around the assists in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, comedy skits based around it. He blew up because of those.
Actually, he blew up because of his guides. His highly edited guides is what helped him. The assist series is an attachment, or it's a branching off from that. So even then, you don't even know the story. You don't even have the story right. All right, whatever.
And he got a good following and a good groundwork where now he could do whatever he wanted, and he did, and he's successful doing that. Right?
It's almost like he watched that interview between Maximilian and Brian F, and he took what he wanted and then discarded the rest. Because that's what it's starting to sound like. It's a good interview too. If you guys ever get a chance to watch it, if I remember to, I'll link it down to you guys. But it's a good interview. It gives you an idea of what Max was thinking and what he was going through. Like some of him and DSP's early YouTube experience was kind of similar in what their circumstances were at that time. Of course, Maximilian wasn't worried about the Negroes outside, so he didn't use that as a reason to not learn how to ride a bike or, you know, learn how to swim or anything like that. Max didn't do that shit. But as it pertains to getting into content creation and then trying to make it work and how it not being profitable at first, and then having to learn the ins and outs of the business, it's an interesting lesson. Obviously not stuff that DSP did, but close enough.
Markiplier jumped in at the right time to capitalize on the horror games craze on PC. So he just basically played the horror.
Didn't Markiplier do yeah, actually I did, Sonic. I did hear that Justin and Max went to the Street Fighter set. Which big on them. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully motherfuckers got some autographs and shit and some pictures or whatnot. But I did hear that, yeah. It makes sense that they would, to be honest. Because those are the two guys that are gonna be spearheading the movie forward. And like I said, as far as I've seen, it's obviously supposed to be comedy. It's supposed to be like comedic and shit. It's not going to be like a serious movie. There'll probably be serious undertones, but overall it's meant to be comedy. So big ups to them. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine where DSP could have been if he wasn't a piece of garbage.
Games screamed at them and stuff like that.
Oh, but anyway, I was gonna say, first off, didn't Markiplier like also play like Minecraft? And wait a second, what the fuck is this on your wrist, Phil? Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened to you? Yikes. Well, damn, Jasper's face is like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what the fuck he be doing. But looking at, what the fuck is this, Phil? You getting beat up on or some shit? Yeah, wow, cat beating on you again? Is that what that is? She had to keep your ass in line. God damn, Phil. That's some ugly work. And looking at Jasper's face, it makes me think he did it. He was responsible for that shit. That's an ugly. You should wrap that up, Phil. I don't know. Put some ice on it, or you should cover that up. You don't want people thinking that bad things are happening to you behind the scenes, unless you're planning on blaming that on a detractor later. Holy shit, that's an ugly looking mark, though, Phil. You might want to cover that up.
Got his footing in there, and then he continued to grow and be successful from there. You notice they didn't
Either he's lifting something or he's being lifted. I don't know what that was, but God, yeah, exactly, thin ass fucking skin. But I don't know what that was, but that shit looked tough. And then I noticed Jasper's face, like, don't worry about what the fuck he been doing. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Do you, champ?
do anything like I did. We're all unique people.
That was hilarious.
You know? Sadly, I fell into a situation that I couldn't get out of. And what do? I'm not going to give up.
I mean, I don't know. Okay. I don't. All right, AJ. I don't know about him trying to curl a fucking dumbbell and shit. He's splitting skin to do it. That's fucking wild. I suppose that's possible, though. But god damn, son.
Quit. You know, I'm going to improve, which I have. Now, things are much different, right? But people still hold on like it's 2012 and act like that's the same me. It's not. Not at all. You know? 2012 Phil is not 2026 Phil. You'd like it to be, but it's not. It's just not the case.
I mean, arguably, you're worse. Well, not even arguably, you are. You're just fundamentally worse. Like, 2012 was definitely a fucking mongoloid, like, fungal pop baby, for sure. But you're so much worse. You know what I'm saying? In damn near fucking 14 years, you haven't gotten any better. That's crazy. Holy shit, man. All right, let's get back a little bit.
The angry video game nerd.
Oh, here we go. This is what I want.
How did I decide to make content for teens as an adult male? Because everything was popular at that time because of the angry video game nerd and the nostalgia critic. Basically.
So you try to groom their audience? What is that? Hold on. Jesus Christ. That's a crazy thing.
How did I decide to make content for teens as an adult male? Because everything was popular at that time because of the angry video game nerd and the nostalgia critic. Basically, they did exactly the same thing. They were in their late 20s, early 30s, and they were making these kind of videos. They were blowing up on the fucking internet. And people realized there's a huge viewer base for this kind of content.
But that's not how he's trying to word it, though. He's wording it as they were purposely trying to target kids and whatnot. That's kind of how he's making it sound, but that's not actually how that played out.
It's that simple.
And because DSP is a groomer, keep that in mind too.
Only I was doing it directly on YouTube with Let's Plays and playthroughs. It was a different style. You know, Angry Video Game Nerd did these highly edited, scripted, irreverent reviews of retro games.
Was he reverent the word of the day or something? Like, whatever. It's starting to get on my nerves a little bit.
Nostalgia Critic did exactly the same thing, but he did it with pop culture, like movies and TV. Well, I was doing impromptu style commentary of that style on video game playthrough.
Wait, so he literally is admitting this. Well, I had already said this before, but he basically is admitting that he jacked they shit. He just did it in a different format. So these two guys did highly edited stuff going towards like old video games and pop culture. And you thought that reactionary fucking impromptu whatever slop was going to be your take on it? Chat, is that what I'm getting? Oh, you slimy bat. This is Howard Stern all over again. Oh, Howard Stern wasn't on YouTube yet. Or none of his content was being posted around that time. Something along those lines, DSP said. So I thought, I'll take his jokes and I'll make them my own and I'll build my name up. So then when the Howard Stern stuff does come along, Phil used to say jokes like that too. And then there would be some type of connection made, I guess. Yikes, son.
Predicted exactly the same thing, but he did it with pop culture, like movies and TV. Well, I was doing impromptu style commentary of that style on video game playthrough.
Wow. He literally admitted to copying they shit. He literally tried to jack they shit. It still failed. That's the funny part. And then he still failed at it. That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Yikes, Phil. Yikes. That's some wild...
That bias. You can't get rid of bias. It's subconscious.
All right, fuck all that. All right, that's the part I wanted y'all to hear. Now let's move on to what our main event is. Yikes, son. Yikes. You literally stole their shit, tried to pass it off as your own, and then have the nerve to say years later, it was a different style of doing something. Oh, man. That's ugly. Okay, so let's see here. Fucking A. Let me see. Okay, first, let me see if I can find that, Let me see if I can find that Maximilian. Let me see if I can find that Maximilian interview for you guys real fast. And I'll drop that in the chat. I want to say he did that with... he did that with Brian, I think? Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, he did. It's right here. Got it. All right. It's about 2+ hours. It's a long watch, but it's worth your time. Like it's definitely a good watch. It's definitely a good watch. Okay, so let me copy this real fast. I'll drop it in to, let's see here. Where's our browser at? All right, right here. Let me drop this here for y'all. And like I said, give a chance to watch all that. And let me throw some SnortBucks in chat for y'all real fast. And then let's jump to this, let's jump over to this, let's get rid of that. And then let's jump over to this, this blip.tv thing. Like I said, there's 2 renditions of it. There's the LD one, which I think most of you, may actually know about. And then there is another version of it, which I guess is like the raw, it's the raw version of the video. Okay, see, there's the LD one right there. I think that tells the whole story, but someone actually has the original video uncut. There's this Derek guy here. There is DSP Cult Leader. They got a small sample of it. There's that shit that I did on the Fight Club channel. Shizzle. There's a couple of the guys who made it too, but I'm not seeing it here. All right, we may have to go with the Derek rendition then. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we're gonna have to go with that. This is the full story. Don't panic. This is from January, looks like January 12th or January 11th of 2012, I guess. No, that wouldn't be right. Hold on a second. Let me just pull it up. I'm pretty sure that's not what the date is. It looks like January 11th of 2012, but I'm pretty
and to get out in the open.
I'm pretty confident he was already under his machinima deal at that time. Huh. All right, here, let me bring you guys in.
You're spending any money on stuff like that.
Whoa, let's not do that. What is this? Actually, well, what is this?
You're spending any money on stuff like that.
Oh, that's the condo tour. We've already seen that. That was on another stream. All right, here we go. Here's the video in question. Big ups to Derek. Here's his video here. This is like the original cut. This is what it originally looked like, plus or minus a few minutes. So this is what we'll go with. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is DSP's after he gets released from blip.tv. Now, to preface this, remember what we just heard about the angry video game nerd and nostalgia critic and different style, yada, 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 whatever. Let's see what blip.tv actually thought of his content and how is that relevant to today. Here we go.
I wasn't going to do this, but I think it actually is better to just talk about it and get the facts straight.
Oh, and he low-key, not even low-key, he did. He basically tried to threaten blip.tv here too. I'm sure most people have already pointed this out to you, but if not, I'll show it. I'll actually tell you when we get close. But he did like basically threaten them and say, hey, if you got, let me not spoil it. Sorry. You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see it.
They get it out in the open, and that way a lot of this speculation, these crazy rumors that have been going around today will be resolved. It is pretty late here. It's 10:30 at night.
Oh, he does the eye bug, like the bug eye shit. He does that shit a lot, you know, in these early videos, especially this one, for whatever reason.
Get it out in the open, and that way a lot of this speculation, these crazy rumors that have been going around today will be resolved. It is pretty late here.
Like, he does that a lot. Like, I don't know why, but that shit is fantastic. If you guys are looking for some really great screenshots from his old shit, this is where you find it. Like, holy fuck, bro. Like, this dude looks absolutely insane in some of these frames. Oh, good stuff, good stuff.
Here it's 10:30 at night. but I want to get this out rather than have everyone make this crazy stuff up. So earlier today, I unfortunately I canceled my second. I don't know what to call it. Not an appointment, but my second session. There you go. Of fan appreciation videos, which were going to be
appointment. And see, this is his dumbass problem. He treated everything like it was a job. It wasn't ever fun. It was just something that needed to be accomplished. Like, it's just something that needed to be done. And he wonders why now he doesn't get any enjoyment out of anything. He has to convince you that he likes something. Not tell you. He has to convince you that he likes something or he loves something. So you keep supporting. But then if you ask him, well, hey, would you play this on your off time? Why would I do that? What's the point of me doing that? He's turned content creation and streaming into just another low wage entry level job. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what it was meant to do. But that's what he's turning it into. And then, and this is something that plenty of people have pointed out, the concept or the idea of begging is starting to be picked up. At first, DSP really pioneered that shit. And then the e-thoughts picked it up. Now anybody of low repute is starting to do it and are benefiting from it. It's kind of silly when you think about that shit. Sorry, homegirl's fucking hip movements is throwing me off a little bit. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, he's really pioneered, and theoretically, he's mainstreamed or streamlined. No, he's mainstreamed begging. He hasn't streamlined it because he's too stupid. But he has mainlined begging if you think about it. As crazy as that sounds.
Black Ops I was going to play with everyone. It was supposed to be from 7 to 10 p.m. The reason I had to cancel is because something pretty serious happened today. Now, just to resolve all the rumors, no, it has nothing to do with my health, has nothing to do with an accident or a family member or anything like that. I kind of hoped that you wouldn't think that, because in my previous video today that I talked about this, I said, you know, that I'm going to be moving my gameplay footage back to DSP Gaming on YouTube.
So why would that have anything to do with your health or your family, retard? The fuck? Listen to that again.
Because something...
He basically tried to fucking gaslight people. He tried to gaslight people to be concerned for him.
Pretty serious happened today. Now, just to resolve all the rumors, no, it has nothing to do with my health, has nothing to do with an accident or a family member or anything like that. I kind of hoped that you wouldn't think that, because in my previous video today that I talked about this, I said, you know, that I'm going to be moving my gameplay footage back to DSP Gaming on YouTube. But I guess it wasn't apparently clear. So I apologize to anyone who had a misconception that something crazy was going on like that. It's not. So that's good news. But what we're going to talk about is basically exactly what happened today in regards to myself and my status on Blip.tv. Now, some very quick background. I've been on Blip.
Where's all that post-nasal drip at, Phil? We're over a minute in and I haven't heard a single snort yet. I'm starting to get disappointed. But I will say, the snort sacks are right here. The snort sacks are, and they are engorged. If you think about it, god damn, Phil, they are engorged, son.
TV now for about a month, and I put up a bunch of different things. First of all, I carried many of my series from this channel, The King of Hate HD, over to there when I was basically...
Hey, what's up, artwork? Actually, I got a video coming up for you, and whatnot. If it's not up, it should be up next week. It shouldn't get pushed back any further than 2 weeks, but it should be up next week, though. Pointing out what you were saying about DSP making fucking content for fucking kids and shit, and he made shower videos. So I had you in mind, and when I saw your comment, so big ups to you, for real. I'll make sure I shout you out in that video. But I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it until you brought that up. So big ups to you.
Suspended from the Google AdSense program. Since then, I also started doing, and I hate to call them these, but Let's Plays over on Blip TV. But also, I did my year-end videos.
But wait, I thought you pioneered that, though. Now you're saying that you don't like calling them that? Interesting.
I also started doing, and I hate to call them these, but Let's Plays over on Blip TV. But also, I did my year-end videos, my Game of the Year award.
Speaking of which, he's not even supposed to do Let's Plays. That's something against the terms of service. And he's been told about that, and he still did it. You'll see that later.
It's all kinds of content I've been putting up. My New York City trip I have over.
My parents believe that begging online is illegal. It probably should be. To be honest with you, Thunder, it probably should be fucking illegal, to be honest. That's all he is. He's just the modern day panhandler. He is your internet vagrant, if you will, outside of your store, your Starbucks or whatever the fuck, jingling his can and shit. And after his day of begging, he goes ahead, he takes off his outfit, throws it into the trunk of his car, jumps into his BMW that hasn't been serviced in a year, and drives off, snorting all the way. That's literally what he is. Like, you can't call it anything more than that.
There, okay?
Oh, man.
So far, so good. Blip for the past month has been extremely good. First of all, they upgraded me to HD videos for free. They contacted me, okay? I have one particular person who's been working with me for a month. He's helped me with so many things that
So how many times did the guy in the span of a month tell you, hey, you're not exactly in line with our terms of service? And maybe they were trying to throw him subtle hints, like the machinima conversations that he was having, and he just didn't pick it up. But now he's going to act like he's blindsided, when in actuality, he was forewarned about this shit. Just like the shit with Twitch. Because he swears to God that he didn't know that he had a strike. And that's not true, because even people back in his day, when they caught strikes, they got an email explaining it. It makes you think.
questions on problems and things like that, and I also passed questions through him. For example, one of my first questions to him was, listen, a lot of the stuff that I do is video game footage, is that acceptable? And he said, as long as there's something to the footage that basically makes it a transformative work.
See, so he knew what he was doing was wrong, and he did it anyway. And tried to say what? Your reactionary fucking commentary is what made it transformative, bitch? But this is how you don't play isn't transformative? Fucking restreamers aren't transformative? Wow, son.
Was, listen, a lot of the stuff that I do is video game footage, is that acceptable? And he said, as long as there's something to the footage that basically makes it a transformative work, okay, it's acceptable on Blip.tv. Now what that means is a Let's Play where I'm giving live review and commentary and criticism of the game. That's a transformative work.
Not in the way that you're thinking. Not to what Blip.tv wanted. If he was editing the footage down and he was taking out some of the bullshit and whatnot and adding a little more to it, he might have had grounds. But he clearly didn't. Not with what he was doing. He thought his commentary was going to carry the day. Yikes. I've seen this so many times before and I never really gave it that much thought.
A game review, official review video, like The Hateful Truth. That's a transformative work. Or my top 10 series or top 20 series for Game of the Year awards. That's a transformative.
Okay, but listen to what he's saying. He's saying that he's named 3 things, right? The first thing... Well, that's what's up. The first thing he's saying is that the raw game footage and whatnot, as long as he's giving commentary, that is skirting the lines. Then he's talking about 2 other things he's doing that allegedly, in air quotes, had editing to it. So those are definitely within TOS. So let's go with DSP's mindset, right? Oh, I'm doing 3 things. 2 out of the 3 is definitely transformative, and the other one is kind of, sort of. So that should let me skirt the line. That was his frame of defense. And yet they ended up catching him for that in the end anyway, ironically enough. Hello, Jewel.
Where all those things under U.S. fair use law currently are considered transformative works. So, for the past month, I've been putting everything up on Blip, and everything has been great. I was supposed to actually this week have a conference call with my contact at Blip and someone else. They were going to talk a little bit more about how the ads really work on Blip, and basically what are the seasons, I guess, where maybe there would be a little bit more ad activity.
Why would they talk to you about that? Like, that should be written in an email or something. They shouldn't need to tell you that. It sounds like that's something you want to ask. Now, keep in mind, the reason why we're on Blip is because he was telling people on YouTube to click the ads and shit, which ended up getting him demonetized. So now you try to pull the same thing with fucking Blip? Oh, fantastic.
As opposed to someone, there's a dry spell. For example, December seemed to be a gigantic month, and this month seems to have slowed down. And that makes sense. As a business, as advertisers aren't going to spend as much money the month after Christmas as they are during Christmas, because Christmas is when everyone's spending money. So it makes sense. So we were going to have this conference call this week, and actually as early as last night, I got an email from my contact. He said, Phil, what times are you available this week? I'm in the office, and I let him know when I'm free this week. So I hadn't heard from him all day today, and then finally, at 4:30 p.m., I get an email, okay? So I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to...
Why would you preface it saying that? I'm not gonna lie. Like, why would you start this off with that? It just goes to show what kind of slimy scumbag this dude is. You're gonna preface an email that you took the time to print out with saying, I'm not gonna lie. What the fuck is there to lie about? And see, that's why his nonsense about Twitch never told him why they let him go. It's proof positive that he knows exactly what it was. He just spins it to make it seem like he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I got something that I can reference that to. Think about what happened to Dr. Disrespect, and all that time he said he didn't really know what was going on, but then he had an active legal case going on, so that's why he couldn't say it. He basically ripped off Dr. Disrespect's situation. Oh, they didn't tell me what it was. I have no clue. And then he tried to fight this good fight, supposedly, to try to get people on his side and make it seem like he was the victim. In reality, he knows exactly why Twitch got rid of his ass. He just don't want to admit it. Crazy work, bruh. Crazy work.
So I hadn't heard from him all day today, and then finally, at 4:30 p.m., I get an email, okay?
Yay.
So I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to, you know, fib or try to interpret or try... I'm going to read you the email, okay? Because, by the way, the email doesn't say this is an internal memo. It doesn't say anything like that. And
so you're okay with reading this email from blip.tv, but you won't go ahead and read, you won't read any of the emails of when Machinima let your ass go? Years and years after the fact? You won't tell us how your contracts were structured with Machinima? Machinima's dead and gone now. And he still won't tell you what his contract looked like. Everybody else does, though. There are plenty of videos where people talk about what their Machinima contracts were like. Shit, most of them even post them. They bleep out certain names and shit and certain other stuff. But for the most part, they post them. But DSP won't tell you his. I wonder why that is. Makes you think.
it is honest truth of what was said to me, so I'm going to read it, okay? I'm not going to give out any personal contact information or anything like that, because I'm not looking to hurt Blip. I love Blip. For a month, they...
How do you love Blip? They're not a person. All right, whatever.
They've been great to me, and I want to explain to everyone what happened and what's going on. Okay? And then I'm going to actually read my response to Blip, which I sent them within about an hour of receiving this email.
Oh, wait. I want to see this. I want to see this.
What happened. I'm not going to give out any personal...
Hold on. I want you to see something.
So I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to...
I want you to see something.
Fib or try to interpret or try... I'm going to read you the email.
Okay, that's Blip's response right here. Look at all this. This is Blip's response. This is not a response. This is what they told him, right? I want you to remember this. And then wait till you see the fucking novel that DSP sent them back. Oh shit, it's gonna be fantastic.
Okay? Because by the way, the email doesn't say this is an internal memo. It doesn't say anything like that. And it is honest truth of what was said to me, so I'm going to read it. Okay? I'm not going to give out any personal contact information or anything like that, because I'm not...
It didn't matter. He gave, if I remember correctly, you gave out most of these guys' first names and what their positions were. So even a dent, well, they weren't called dents back in those days, but even someone in DSP, a pre-dent, you know what I'm saying? The Thunder Warriors before the Primarchs, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they would have been able to figure out who's who, idiot. And he knows that. And he knows that. He's saying that just in case anybody from Blip watches it, but he's pig whistling to fucking the dents, to the fucking, the Thunder dents in his fucking audience that, hey, these are the people that you're looking for. This is what their position is. Go get them just in case they don't do what I want. Basically.
Looking to hurt Blip. I love Blip. For a month, they've been great to me. And I want to explain to everyone what happened and what's going on. Okay? And then I'm going to actually...
Look at all this! Look at all this! Compared to what they sent him. He doubled that shit. He might have even tripled it because there may be more than one page here. Chat. Chat. Oh. Oh, man. Woo, shit. Oh, man. Old Phil was an animal.
my response to Blip, which I sent them within about an hour of receiving this email. And then we'll talk a little bit about my take on it.
Wow.
So here we
Yeah, goddamn indeed, son. This was an absolute fucking animal.
go. Alright, so this... Hi.
Yeah, there was multiple pages. See what I told you? They sent him one page. He sent them multiple pages of shit. He sent them multiple pages.
Phil. By the way, the subject line was just blip.tv, so I didn't know what it was about. It says, hi, Phil. I know you were working on setting up a call with blank. This was my contact at Blip TV.
Sports broad? Nah, bro. He's rocking them full Biggie double Ds, bro. You know, a sports broad might not be enough. That's why his back hurt. Because he carries so much weight in the front.
For some time this week, but I'm going to have to preempt that conversation here. Okay? While we were initially willing to work with you, we found that
We were initially willing to work with you. It doesn't sound like, Phil, they were as enthusiastic as you were painting them to be. It sounds like they were just willing to deal with you, i.e. willing to put up with you. Which is weird, chat, because it's almost like anybody and everybody who knows who DSP is and have had dealings with him after a very short amount of time, by the way. They end up just dealing with him, or they're willing to deal with him. Has DSP ever really had anybody, plus or minus a few people, who has genuinely liked him? It makes you think.
blank. This was my contact at Blip TV. For some time this week, but I'm going to have to preempt that conversation here. Okay? While we were...
Oh, I'm pretty confident they didn't read all this shit. I'm sure they skimmed through that. I'm almost confident that they skimmed through that shit.
Initially willing to work with you, we found that your videos are frequently violating our terms of service on multiple fronts.
Oh yeah, because you're an habitual line stepper. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised by that shit at all. I'm not surprised by that at all. Great screenshot. Great screenshot. And this is before the drip, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't mean the post-nasal drip. I mean, this is before the drip, if you know what if you catch my drip. Goddamn, Phil. Look at everything that YouTube took away from you.
Here, okay? While we were initially willing to work with you, we found that your videos are frequently
Oh yeah, facts. The eye movement. I'm glad one of you guys pointed that shit out. You'll see. You'll see.
Violating our
Drip,
terms
drip,
of
drip.
service on multiple fronts. Okay? The less serious of the offenses are the raw gameplay videos you are uploading.
But I thought they were transformative, Phil. I thought that was you giving your reactionary commentary over it. I thought you said that was transformative. They're saying that you're violating that shit. You've been violating. Yikes, Phil. Yikes, Phil.
Frequently violating our terms of service on multiple fronts. Okay? The less serious of the offenses are the raw gameplay videos you are uploading. Okay? Again, I'm not going to give any commentary. We're just going to read this. We clearly state when you sign up that uploading gameplay is not allowed. You are required to check a box.
But you just lied on that person, Phil, and said that they told you it was okay. Now this email is basically exposing that you're a lying piece of garbage. Oh, hurtful. Just hurtful.
Specifically acknowledging this in order to open an account. You do make some videos within the constraints of the show format, but many of them are just meandering and random.
Oh, shit. Meandering and random. I love that for you, Phil. I love that. Chat, don't you guys love that? That's fantastic. Meandering and random. I love that shit. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, Phil was a pioneer. Y'all don't even know. Phil was out in them fucking fields slaving, so fucking Markiplier and Maximilian could be in the house drinking iced tea and lemonade. Y'all don't even know. Who do you think had to go out there and harvest that sugar cane so they could have that? Y'all don't see. That's the problem with y'all in chat. Y'all don't respect game. You know what I'm saying? This man, and I use that term loosely, but this man pig, he fucking crawled so we could run, and I don't think y'all are giving him the proper respect. That's what I think. I don't think y'all are giving him the proper respect. For real, for real. I might have to write an angry fucking email to fucking Tevin, praise be, and to like that being said, and Meerkat, and fucking Agent Proper, and all them, and Snort Burnell. I might have to write them some angry emails saying that, yo, y'all need to respect game. Hell no, I'm not doing none of that shit. But god damn, that shit's fucking hilarious.
You are required to check a box specifically acknowledging this in order to open an account. You do make some videos within the constraints of the show format, but many of them are just meandering and random. The more serious offense...
Hold on. Because I'm a fucking petty asshole, I want to see if I can get that one eye bulge.
Account. You do make some videos within the constraints of the show format, but many of them are just meandering and random.
I love that shit. I need that screenshot. That would make a fantastic emote. I love that shit. Look at that, chat. That's great. That's great. That's the king of slop content, ladies and gentlemen. Pay heave. I love that shit. Look at that. That's great. That's going to make a fantastic emote. That's going to be great. I love that. I love that.
The more serious offense is the hateful speech used in videos like, and he actually directly links to the Dead Space 2 demo playthrough that I did, the part 4, which is the...
Just imagine getting bodied from a fucking site over a demo. A demo. That's what got your ass kicked off that site. And it got you taken out of blistered thumbs. Well, you weren't in blistered thumbs yet. You were in negotiations with them. I.e., they were thinking about bringing you in, but they wanted to see what's what. And what I'm guessing, this is just me, I have no proof of this, but I'm guessing that someone at Blistered Thumbs or someone from Blip reached out to someone from Blistered Thumbs and was like, hey, you may want to hold off on that because we got some problems with that guy. So let's see if we can work things out first. And if not, then you can move right along. Because remember, Doug was basically running that guy with the glasses, that whole empire. He was running it off Blip for the most part. So bringing someone like Darkseid Phil in, being that he's got all this baggage, might have not have been the play. So whoever their contacts in the company were probably like, nah, you might want to ease up for a minute. Let us go ahead and work out what we got to do first before you think about bringing him in. I'm surmising. I have no proof of any of that. It does make sense to me though.
Last part, okay? And by the way, I hope that everyone at Blip who's been dealing with me is watching this video, because I'm going to be completely factual and honest. So let's continue. So that's the link he gives. And he says, this is clearly in violation and just plain unacceptable.
Facts.
Our terms of service states that we will remove content that is or may be deemed to be grossly offensive to the online community, including but not limited to blatant expressions of bigotry, prejudice, racism, hatred, and profanity. We will not...
Now remember, DSP said that he made hateful content, bigoted content, sexist content, because he was trying to attract teenagers and kids to him. He saw other people doing it, and he's like, I want a piece of that, so I'm going to do it. And he says the reason why Maximilian and Markiplier don't have hater groups, they do. Everybody has haters. Everybody has haters. But the reason why their hater group isn't like his hater group is because I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. I don't know. They're popular. I don't know what his reasoning is behind that part.
Not allow our service to be used to promote hate, and we absolutely can't allow advertisements to be run on this type of content.
So how was it that you were supposed to have a conversation with them earlier in the day about how their ads work when they clearly had an email on you basically saying, no, this guy is advertiser unfriendly, you're a brand risk, you're beyond that actually. And there was no fucking way they were going to bring that in. So did you lie about that initial conversation you were supposed to have with them? We may never know.
It is what it is. We're going to keep continuing.
And seeing him react that way, you could tell. You could tell that initial conversation they were supposed to have with him was bullshit. He did it to try to preface the light and the blow. But now that he's reading it, the emotions are starting to come back, and he's having a hard time dealing with it. I love that.
Not allow our service to be used to promote hate, and we absolutely can't allow advertisements to be run on this type of content. It is what it is. We're going to keep continuing.
Put your hoof down. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That's your fault.
Word for word. All right, next paragraph.
Next paragraph.
We have turned off advertising for your account and will be removing your videos from our service on Wednesday, January 19th, giving you a week to find a new home for any videos you may have exclusively uploaded to Blip. In most cases, we do not send checks to shows that grossly violate our terms of service.
Grossly violated our terms of service. Ooh, boy. Oh, that's hurtful, Phil.
But we will make an exception in your case. Now, I do have to interrupt just to explain what he's talking about. The way that Blip TV works is they pay quarterly. And so everything that I've done in December ended basically December 30th. That's considered end of quarter. And so he's saying they're going to make an exception in this case.
Which they shouldn't have. They put your hoof down. But yeah, they shouldn't have made an exception for you. They should have taken all that shit and told you to fuck off. That's what they should have done. That's what they should have done. They should have just got you up and out of pocket. You were clearly a fucking problem. And they should have just got you up and out of pocket. That's what they should have done.
Now I'll continue. Your check will arrive on time with our next batch of quarterly payments. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, but my decision is final, and we will be removing your videos from our servers in 1 week. Please let me know if there's any...
He did very much lay the blueprint down on what you shouldn't do. But the thing is people even back in those early days had pointed all that shit out. That's like nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, the truth is, DSP has had... that's why I like to call him detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. He's literally had all of those things before there was even a name applied to it. But he literally starts the detractor era with "this is how you don't play," because that's the thing that's hurt him the most, I suppose. And then that's where he moves on from there, trying to go ahead and basically wash away everything that happened before that. What they call that? Not the deluge. What do they call that shit? I'll think of the term for it, because there's a biblical term for the era before the Great Flood. He basically tries to do. It's funny enough. DSP has his own era. Like the Great Flood for him was "this is how you don't play." Everything before that doesn't count because it got washed away. Because "this is how you don't play" was so impactful. I never really thought about it in that way up until now, but it is an interesting prospect now that I think about it, or perspective.
Anything I can do to help with the transition. Your work shows potential, and I think that you can make a
Oh shit! Good morning, proper. I need the I gotta check Discord. I know I hollered you yesterday and whatnot, but if you got some time later, man, I'd like to pick your brain about something. If you have if you have any time.
decent living doing this if you can continue to study the television medium and merge it with what you're doing currently. If you can,
But he does meandering and fucking random content. How's he gonna merge that with the television medium? Did you lie about that too, Phil, or is that really written there?
fully embrace the show format and be more thoughtful and sensitive with your language, you'll
Thoughtful and sensitive with your language. The very shit that got you demonetized off Twitch. You literally got smacked for that damn near a decade earlier and you didn't learn jack shit. That's fantastic. I love that. I love that.
We'll be removing your videos from our servers in 1 week.
I love that.
Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help with the transition.
I love
Your
that.
work shows potential, and I think that you can make a decent living doing this if you can continue.
A decent living. A decent living. But see, Machinima was overpaying him those first couple of years. I mean, so theoretically they were right. The point being, though, is that if you really listen to the Blip.tv arc, or this part here in particular, they basically prefaced everything that was going to happen to him later. That's literally why I have you guys watching this now. They literally prefaced everything that came later. And it's kind of insane if you think about it.
Continue to study the television medium and merge it with what you're doing currently. If you can fully embrace the show format and be more thoughtful and sensitive with your language, you'll go far. It's too bad we won't be able to go on that journey with you. Take care, yours, Eric. And it says he is the director of content at Blip.
Told you. This is what I was trying to tell y'all, chat. He knew what he was doing. He was going to send the wolves out for their asses. That's why he made sure in the beginning, oh, my contact at Blip. Remember, that's how he started this. At the end, though, he put dude's name out there and he put his exact position. Exactly where they could find him if they were willing to look. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. I don't think, it wasn't just that Evil AJ hurt the business. It hurt him. Like, Evil AJ hurt him. Like, in an irreparable, like an inconsolable type of way. Like, DSP will never get over, like, if there's, let's put it to you this way. If I had to name, I want to say 4 people, but I want to say 5. Let's say if I had to give you my top 5 people that have hurt DSP in a way that he'll never be able to recover, it's Evil AJ, it's Evil AJ, Almighty Tevin, Panda, John, and I have to put, I want to put Secret Limited in there. I want to say Secret Limited if I had to give you my top 5. Hold on, one more time. Evil AJ, Almighty Tevin, Panda Lee, John Rambo. Yeah, I kind of want to say Secret Limited, to be honest with you. I kind of want to say Secret Limited because DSP has had a hate boner for Secret Limited for a long ass time. For like a really long ass time. I have to put Secret Limited before even SOK. Now that I think about it. Put me down for that right now, chat. That's my top 5 for right now. Yeah, that's my top 5. Yeah, that's my top 5. I have to say. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But let me know what you guys' top 5 is if you guys have one. But yeah, that's my top 5 people that have hurt DSP in a way that's inconsolable. I have to say, yeah. Yeah, because Tevin's Tevin. So, you know, praise be. You don't even need to, I don't even need to explain that. Evil AJ, because he not only is the godfather of This Is How You Don't Play, but then he's the first one to expose who was a non-competitive player. He's the first person to expose that DSP is a fraud. He's not as good as he makes himself out to be. And then obviously Panda Lee goes without saying. John Rambo pretty much goes without saying. And Secret Limited has been on his neck. Like, Secret Limited has been on DSP's neck, and he's never been able to make him stop. Yeah, that's my top. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm cool with that. That's my top 5. Yeah, that's my top 5. Oh yeah, those serial killer eyes. Yeah, it feels good for that. feels pretty good for that. Yeah, the top 3 definitely seems clear.
TV.
Appreciate that, Chad. I appreciate that.
Okay. That's his email, word for word. Didn't put any commentary, anything into there, okay? There's a couple things I'd love to address, but first what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to read you the email that I sent pretty much within an hour back to... for real, for sure, as it pertains to the Panda Lee thing, but if Kat ever does pick up and leave, which she's going to have to build herself back up to do that, she'll be even more dangerous than Panda, I think. I think she'll be even more dangerous than Panda, to be honest. Because for whatever reason, I don't know if you want to say because Panda's just being a decent person, or she just doesn't want any strife, or there was some type of arrangement, however you want to call it. When she broke free, she broke free. She was done. I don't think Kat's going to want that. I think Kat's going to want her pound of flesh on the way out the door. And then she's going to want even more after that. I mean, why not? She's certainly earned it. Eric at Blit and explain exactly what I said to him. Okay? Word for word. No, no commentary, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I said. The one part I will cut out is I do talk a little bit about my past on YouTube, which all of you already know. I'm not going to go through that again. So let's go.
So you tried to
give him... started with, said, hello, Eric. First of all...
You tried to give him the sob story on how you lost your job and how you were the ultimate underdog and shit, and you were the one-man army and this, that, and the third, trying to make it work after you lost your job at your nepotism fucking position? Wow, that's crazy.
Allow me to preempt my response to your email by saying thank you for making an exception and following through with December's payment. Obviously, I am upset at the situation, but I wanted to get this out first before we go off on a tangent. I greatly appreciate your decision, and you will understand why once you read the below. Okay? Now, for those of you who are wondering why I did that, it's number one, I am extremely grateful that they are going to basically send me a payment for all the hard work I did in December, unlike what YouTube did. YouTube basically stole 2 months of hard work from me and basically said, well, we're taking you out of our program, too bad, we're not paying you for those 2 months. So out of the...
You had this shit coming! You knew what you were doing was breaking TOS. You told the people, you told your fucking dents that hey, I'm telling you guys to do something that you guys aren't supposed to do, so I'm not going to come out here and say it. If you understand how YouTube works, then you womp womp, so help me out. Like, you knew what the fuck you were doing. They didn't rip you off. You ripped them off first. And they just basically got their get back on you.
3 months I actually did stuff on YouTube on my partner channel. I only got credit for 1 month.
So wait, so you did get paid? Fuck you. Fuck you. I almost let you slide on that. You did get paid. He literally said that YouTube robbed him. And now he's saying, well, I did get paid. Out of 3 months, I did, or he complained about 2 months. And then he said out of 3 months, he actually did get paid.
Basically, send me a payment for all the hard work I did in December, unlike what YouTube did. YouTube basically stole 2 months of hard work from me and basically said, well, we're taking you out of our program, too bad, we're not paying you for those 2 months. So out of the 3 months I actually did stuff on YouTube on my partner channel, I only got credit for 1 month. So Blip, right off the bat.
That's wild work. I almost missed that. I almost missed it. Look at this little fucking piggy Nazi salute. Look at this shit. God damn, bro. Look at the sausage links that you guys have here. What the hell is that? Unfortunate, Phil. Unfortunate.
They've already stepped up, okay? In my eyes, anyway. So here we go. Say, okay, here goes. Please do take the time to read this entire message. And this is me talking to Eric. Let me say that this is coming...
Okay, real quick, because this is kind of bothering me. I'm pretty sure this is January 12th of 2011. I'm pretty confident. Because I'm pretty sure 2011 was the year, that he sucked off fucking Hutch to get on Machinima. Because he got fired at the end of 2010. And he was only on Blip for like a month, like literally like a month and a half. Literally like a month and a half. So that's on me. So it's January 12th of 2011. How do you fuck up a job after a month? And then, theoretically, you got fired on your day off. And you hate black people? And you literally got fired on your day off. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy work. It's crazy work.
Is a huge surprise. This is the very first message I've received from Blip TV in any kind of a negative light. I'm totally blindsided and very disappointed that you've apparently decided to terminate my Blip TV account without at first at least discussing it with me. It's basically a total 180. First,
now this is the thing. Okay, I want you guys to take this all in. So I'm pretty sure I talked about this in a video earlier this week, or one of the videos that went out earlier this week, I should say. Sorry, I've been on a fucking binge for a bit as it pertains to making vids. Anyway, I said that when DSP is in correspondence with people, right, and he's being disciplined and all this nonsense, he's literally trying to waste your time and being like, well, you need to talk to me before you discipline me. You need to explain to me why all of this is happening. And DSP takes that as an opportunity to be able to worm himself out of it. You're going to see a fantastic example of that right now. But this is what he's looking for. This is the real reason why he's mad at Twitch. It's not, excuse me, it's not because they demonetized them the way they did. It's not because he sat there and whored himself out on their on Twitch for an additional month and a half before he finally took the hint and got the fuck off. It's the fact that he couldn't reach someone to basically put them under the pignosis to lessening the charges, if you will. That's what he's really mad about. He couldn't, no one was willing to talk to him to lessen the severity of what he had did. That's what he's really mad about. That he couldn't fucking hit somebody with the pignosis and possibly letting him stay back on Twitch.
And this is me talking to Eric. Let me say that this is coming as a huge surprise. This is the very first message I've received from Blip TV in any kind of a negative light. I'm totally blindsided and very disappointed that you've apparently decided to terminate my Blip TV account without at first at least discussing it with me.
Yeah, facts, Ziggy. Facts. That's absolutely correct. Holy shit, good catch on that.
It's basically a total 180. First, I think I'm doing everything right.
And the thing is crazy. This is a personal gripe on my part. I can't even look at y'all in chat. So I'm gonna open up the second chat over here because I'm gonna get really distracted. And here's the thing: as beautiful as this woman is right here, what I have coming up for y'all next, the next chick that I found for y'all, this is gonna make this shit look tame as hell. This shit's gonna make it look seriously tame. It's with the TOS. I'm good. But god damn, this shit, she's gonna make homegirl here look super tame. Oh boy, I'm not gonna be able to look at chat again now. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough.
Working with my contact at Blip, who's been extremely helpful over the past month, and now I'm basically being told I'm banned for your business for things I had no idea, absolutely no idea were issues. All right, now I'm gonna skip the next paragraph because basically what the next paragraph explains is how I was laid off from my job in September. I'm trying to make this a full-time thing, and YouTube basically shut me down from their AdSense program.
Wait, but I thought you said you were never trying to turn this into a full-time job. This was something that you just fell into. Now you're admitting that Oh, that's unfortunate, Phil. I thought you said there was no jobs in Connecticut, but the unemployment rate wasn't that high at this time. So basically what you're saying is that you needed daddy's nepotism and whatnot, and because your father either didn't have any other connections at any other companies, or he wasn't willing to stake his reputation to get you a job somewhere else, you were basically stuck doing this. Now here's where my next question comes into play. Were you lying to Dave and Linda every Sunday when they were like, well, how's the job hunt doing? You know, are you looking for a new job? Is there anything that we can help you with? Is there any places in particular or any fields that you're trying to go into? Did you lie to them and say that you've got some prospects, but you really didn't? Did you really make that up just to kind of keep them like off your back and shit while you try to make YouTube and Blip work? It makes you think, chat. It makes you think.
Brandon kicked me out, okay? So, let me continue. As soon as this happened, I actually had to scramble and figure out a new plan to continue what I was doing while finding a way to support myself financially. I am familiar with many of the more popular shows here on Blip TV, including Nostalgia Critic. In fact, Nostalgia Critic is one of the, I'm sorry, I'm not tangent, but he's one of the biggest guys on Blip TV. Everything, all his videos he puts on Blip. In fact, I was actually in, was currently in talks to work with his gaming division, Blip.
So wait, I'm sorry. Let me hear this part one more time.
Financially. I am familiar with many of the more popular shows here on Blip TV, including Nostalgia Critic. In fact, Nostalgia Critic is one of the, I'm sorry, I'm not tangent, but he's one of the biggest guys on Blip TV. Everything, all his videos he puts on Blip.
So I was right. So you were trying to rip off Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, and you were trying to steal their shit. But because the Nostalgia Critic was on Blip, he thought, oh, I can do his same bit on YouTube and get away with it because the dude's on a whole nother platform. So no one would be able to conflate that I was robbing that guy, or I was ripping him off, or I was imitating him, or whatever the term you want to use. Okay. All right, fair enough.
In fact, I was actually in, was currently in talks.
That's not very good sentence structure, Phil. Let's try that again.
But he's one of the biggest guys on Blip TV. Everything,
let's
all
try
his
that again,
videos he
Phil.
puts on Blip.
Come on, Mr. Valedictorian.
In fact, I was actually in, was currently in talks.
Was in talk. What is that, Phil? That's not proper English. All right, whatever.
To work with his gaming division, Blistered Thumbs. So now, yeah, the cat's out of the bag. I was talking to the Nostalgia Critic to work with Blistered Thumbs, and basically they would promote my content and I'd be part of them. Now that it looks like I might...
I wonder what history would have looked like given what happened to that guy with the glasses. I wonder what would have happened if you were over there. I wonder what history would have kind of looked like if that was the case. Because you would have only been... Because if you think about it, him and Rich, because I want to tell you, it was Review Tech USA was over there, or with that guy with the glasses for a period of time. Don't hold me to that. But Spoonie definitely was. You would have literally been within 4 degrees of separation from Spoonie. That's kind of crazy now that I think about it. Oh, I might have to do some theory crafting on that. That's kind of... Oh, shit. Fuck all that. Not fuck all that. But, dude, he would have been like 4 or 5 degrees of separation from fucking Angry Joe. Oh, shizzle. You would have been hella close to Angry Joe. Or could have been. Oh, my. That changes the spectrum just a little bit. Holy shit. All right, here, let's continue. Jesus Christ.
Be off Blip. It's probably not going to happen, okay? Okay, blah, blah, blah. After speaking with them, I actually decided that Blip TV would be a great fit for what I do. Its ad system is view-based, not based off of clicks, and I've never had a problem with viewership. I did initially have concerns regarding the fact that I do video gameplay.
Yeah, that would have been, that's a crazy crossover, dude. Like, Angry Video Game Nerd, Spoonie, like, he would have never fit in with any of those guys. But, like, he would have been, because both of those guys really like they used to. They like to really, they like to banter and shit. They were really about making jokes. Phil wouldn't have been able to handle that. He's not strong enough of character to have been able to deal with some of that shit. But, that would have been very, very interesting how history would have looked like if he was in their presence, even for a short amount of time. Very interesting.
I had the same concerns on your YouTube, but per my legal research on the subject, I actually discovered that Let's Plays are not a violation of copyright law as long as there is live.
Wait, so you're gonna now tell these people that their TOS is wrong, and then you're gonna throw some legal jargon at them to say, yeah, I understand that this is your TOS for your company that you started, but you're wrong. This is what the law really is, and I haven't violated shit. This is like what he tried to do to the Cannon brothers for Evo. Well, not just Evo, but for SRK. Because DSP has always been mad at the Cannon brothers for how they ran SRK and how they ran Evo. And how what he thought they were doing it wrong, and it was always favoritism against towards the Cannon brothers' friends and mainly West Coast players, and so on and so forth. And the East Coast guys usually got fucked over. But Justin didn't get fucked over. IFC Yipes didn't get fucked over. Ricky Ortiz didn't get fucked over. Like, I can name a fucking slew of East Coast players that the Cannon brothers and Evo and SRK fuck with. So, huh? It makes you think. What's up, Dwight?
Commentary or criticism, which basically turns the footage into a transformative work that is protected under U.S. fair use law.
Wow.
True, if all that I was uploading was raw footage with no commentary or review, then it would not be protected. But I actually film everything with a camera, not direct feed.
That's important too, because I've been preaching this shit for a long time. This idiot, one of the reasons why he didn't go to direct capture is because for whatever reason in his oddly shaped skull, he really believed that if you were pulling the direct feed of the content, you could get copyright struck later. So he used the camera as a filter, as a barrier to protect himself. And then by the time he ended up transitioning over to direct feed, he was already so far behind the 8 ball that no one gave a fuck. That's crazy work. He literally thought, oh, you guys can go ahead and do the direct feed, and then when you guys get bumped off, I'll be last man standing. He literally believed that. That's wild work. Just crazy, crazy shit.
And I always do live running commentary on everything that criticism, which basically turns the footage into a transformative work that is protected under U.S. fair use law. True, if all that I was uploading was raw footage with no commentary or review, then it would not be protected. But I actually film everything with a camera, not direct feed, and I always do live running commentary on everything that I do, which would protect it under the U.S. fair use law.
But that might not necessarily be considered transformative. It might not be considered transformative per their TOS, per their company, you know, the shit that they run, that they own. Damn, Phil.
I actually specifically brought up this
Not only were you highly regarded now, but you were really highly regarded back in the day. That's some wild work.
Question with my contact at Blip, and he advised that as long as I added something to the raw footage to make it my own, and it would make it a transformative work, that I was in the clear.
Told you. He thought his little bullshit countdown and his little crying, bitching reviews or whatever, oh, well, those are edited, or he had to put effort in. But the fucking playthroughs or the walkthroughs or whatever the fuck he calls it, he thought he could skirt the line with that because the other two things he was doing was enough to definitely get him over that hump. So he was just going to try to squeeze the last part in and hoping to get away with it. That's wild, boy. The amount of laziness that was being displayed back in those days or something serious.
So, to your first point, Eric, stating that raw gameplay videos are a less serious offense of your terms of service, but I've basically violated this, I have to respectfully disagree based off of my research into U.S. fair use law and the responses of my contact at Blip. I have never uploaded just raw footage to Blip. Keep going.
Then he gave us a little angry snort in his look at the camera like, bitch. Oh, that's great.
My research into U.S. fair use law and the responses of my contact at Blip. I have never uploaded just raw footage to Blip.
Banned, banned, banned. Gone. Forever. If Phil could have banned that guy, he would have. Holy shit. Oh, look at him. And see, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the true face of Dark Side Phil. Don't ever forget that. This is Dark Geppetto in his final form. Don't ever forget that shit. That's what this piece of shit really represents. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let anybody make you believe that this piece of garbage has any redeemable qualities to him, because he don't. He's just an angry little fucking person. That's all he's ever been. That's all he ever will be. Period. And he's quick to defend himself when someone calls him out for his bullshit. But he's quick to go ahead and use the same type of criticisms that are used against him against someone else if he thinks he's justified in doing so. Womp womp.
Keep going here.
Keep going here.
Now to your second point about, and I linked to that video, the Dead Space 2 Part 4 demo gameplay. It's meant for comedic purposes only. I do have actually several characters in playthrough commentaries, which are meant to be larger than life parodies of such racist stereotypes. And from that video, I'm assuming it might be, the racist parody that I did that you're finding.
Oh, it might be the racist parody? It might be? Okay.
Offensive. These are not serious in any way, are not meant to be taken that way. I'm certainly not standing in front of a camera, giving a serious racist tirade, and I'm not a racist. This commentary is
I beg to differ, but whatever.
An attempt to enlighten the mood of a rather scary game with something totally off the wall and crazy.
Really? So you were lightening the wait, what? We were trying to lighten the load and and uplift the atmosphere of Dead Space by bringing in actual human atrocities and shit, like people being butchered by the by the tens of thousands, if not more. That was supposed to lighten the load. Oh boy, what a sick little man. What a sick little man.
I would like to point...
Well, I use the term man loosely. Sick little pig. Let's say that.
Point out, and this is the word for word of mine, I would like to point out that Howard Stern, the most popular radio host of all time, has done far worse on the air, and yes, he also suffered some persecution from the FCC for what he did. But it was always meant as a joke, in good fun.
So I stole Howard Stern's joke and stick, and I shouldn't be held to the same... What? I shouldn't be held to the same fucking criticisms or punishment because I stole somebody else's fucking joke? So you were basically... What's his name? What's that guy's name? Carlos Mencia. You were Carlos Mencia before Carlos Mencia, basically. That's crazy.
Scary game with something totally off the wall and crazy.
That's crazy.
I would like to point out, and this is the word for word of mine, I would like to point out that Howard Stern, the most popular radio host of all time, has done far worse on the air, and yes, he also suffered some persecution from the FCC for what he did. But it was always meant as a joke, in good fun, and he never really had problems with advertisers.
That's literally not true, but okay. That's literally not true.
It was overzealous, over-conservative government regulation agencies which he had problems with. Also, please note that I did not receive one complaint from any viewer for this video, and that is true.
Now, we may have to actually jump. We might jump to the LD part, because now that I think about it, he has the aftermath of when DSP was going through his cope session. We might jump over to that. We'll see what time permits.
I didn't get one complaint. No one said, Phil, I can't believe that you're doing this kind of stuff.
But that's literally not true, but whatever.
People love it. They think it's hilarious because they have senses of humor. Okay.
Because I'm targeting kids and teenagers. Okay.
Okay. That was a comment. I shouldn't... I'm going to keep going.
You're a fucking dumbass. You're trying to present a video to basically appeal the blip about your situation, and you're going off on tangents halfway through. Yeah, I can see why this failed. I can see why this failed.
You're doing this kind of stuff. People love it. They think it's hilarious because they have senses of humor.
And didn't this retard already mention, or didn't he read the part of their initial email where they said that this is advertiser unfriendly? Like they can't put ads on this gross garbage? Did you like completely memory hole that? Maybe you did.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a comment. I shouldn't... I'm going to keep going. For the past month, I've used Blip TV exclusively as a place for my new footage, and I've constantly and repeatedly praised your business for your outstanding responses, customer support, and view-based ad programs.
So because you sucked them off for a month, you should be able to get a pass? Okay, that's a way of going about it, I guess.
I would not be surprised if hundreds of users...
Here's where the threat comes into play. I want you to hear this shit. Like, most people, like, miss this shit, but, like, peep game on this.
And I've constantly and repeatedly praised your business for your outstanding responses, customer support, and view-based ad program. I would not be surprised if hundreds of users out of my over 100,000 fans from over on YouTube have signed up and actually begun to use your service as a direct result of my recommendation. Again, I had absolutely no idea that anything I was doing was violating your terms of service. I was actually getting excellent help and feedback from my contact at Blip and thought that everything was fine. I'm appalled that you've made this permanent decision and you're not even considering further discussion.
I'm appalled. Okay.
I'm a mature adult with a business degree, and I can fully understand if you... I'm appalled that you've made this permanent decision and you're not even considering further discussion. I'm a mature adult with a business degree, and I can fully understand if you have concerns. I'd be willing to stop with anything that might be viewed as racist if you feel it's a problem for your advertisers. I'm certainly not a racist in real life, but again, up to this point...
That's literally not true either, but alright.
I have received nothing but positive feedback from Blip TV and its staff. If at all possible, please suspend the results of your decision until you and I can personally talk on this subject.
That's what he wanted from Twitch the last time when he got demonetized. This whole little spiel that you're hearing right here is exactly what he wanted from Twitch, and that's what he's mad about. He's still mad about it. That he couldn't get somebody on the phone, hit them with the pignosis, and basically let him slide.
I'm willing to talk at any time on the issue and will speak with anyone at your business who needs to be involved in an appeal of this decision. I think you'll find I'm very professional off camera, and I'm willing to do anything that I can to stay on Blip.
Even if that is true, which is not, but even if it was true, but it's not, but even if it was true, you're not professional or you don't have any common sense on camera where it matters. So who cares?
Including seriously toning down things that you may think would be a problem for your advertisers. I just need to have a talk on where that line is, so to speak.
So that's weird. So basically you're admitting, hey, I'll be fake just so you guys let me stay on. So if you're if you're a pre-dent, what does that make you, how does that make you feel? To know that the guy is willing to lie to you so he can stay on someone else's dick. He's willing to put fake content in front of you just so he can keep fucking grabbing the bag. So he can keep getting the bag. I wonder if any of them ever really thought about that.
One last note, and this is the end of the email. One last note, I'm only bringing this up because it is an inevitability, and I feel like I need to mention it. If this decision does stand and I'm permanently banned from Blip within a week, you understand I'm going to have to explain to over 100,000 people on YouTube why this decision was made and why all of my footage has been deleted.
That's crazy. You hear that shit? Do you hear that shit? This boy's like, yo, hey, if you don't reverse the decision, I'm gonna have to go back and tell my fucking, I'm gonna have to go back and tell all these kids that I've been grooming that yeah, I won't have my content on your site anymore, and there might be problems. Like, come on, bro. Like, seriously, come on, dude. Like, what was that supposed to be taken as? I'd have emailed him back and been like, do your worst. That's what I would have been. I would be like, yo, do your worst, Phil. You know what I'm saying? Godspeed to you.
So to speak. One last note, and this is the end of the email. One last note, I'm only bringing this up because it is an inevitability, and I feel like I need to mention it. If this decision does stand and I'm permanently banned from Blip within a week, you understand I'm going to have to explain to over 100,000 people on YouTube why this decision was made and why all of my footage has been deleted. And considering that, again, this is the very first time Blip has ever brought this up, I cannot imagine that the response is going to be very positive, but it might be the opposite. I could understand if I had been warned or told repeatedly that I was told that I was violating your terms of service, but this is the very first time I've been told, and now I'm getting the boo. It's the equivalent of an employer telling someone good job repeatedly and then giving them a pink slip the next day.
Which happens quite a bit, to be honest with you. You got to make cuts where you make cuts. It's not fair, but that's business. That's what it's like to live in a capitalistic society, Phil. That same society that can say that you're doing well one day and then fire you the next day is the same society that allows your dumbass to sit in your fucking house and play video games like garbage and spew off the bullshit you do and make the money that you make. Maybe you didn't realize that. Maybe that still hasn't set in for him yet. Womp womp.
So please consider this request for appeal. I will eagerly await your response, Phil Burnell. That's the black and white of it, okay? I'm obviously not happy with it. I'm disturbed because, as I said,
I'm disturbed.
This entire time I've been doing stuff on Blip, and trust me, it hasn't been easy.
Yeah, facts. If you really think about it, you make up a great point, or you bring up a great point. His reaction is just random as shit and incredibly meandering. He thinks it's professional, but it's not. He's basically passively aggressively bitching and complaining to them, saying that it's their fault they didn't lay the rules out. It's their fault that their TOS is stupid and it's not in line with what the US government considers whatever the fuck. And basically, you guys should have given me a slap on the wrist. I don't deserve to get booted. You guys are nudnik dumbasses, and you're fucking up my groove. And if you guys don't fix this shit, I'm going to have to send the wolves after you. Sorry. I'm going to have to send the pay pigs after you if you guys don't fix this shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's a wild ass shit.
Get someone, or not someone, but an audience, an established audience who wants you to keep doing something as a full-time job, to move from one place to another when it's easy for them to just stay where they are. It's immensely difficult, and but
that's your fault though. That's your responsibility. If I build up a fucking audience on fucking YouTube and then something happens, that's my fault. It gets me kicked off, that's my fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? As the head of your quote unquote community, that falls on you. Dumbass. That's what you get for begging.
Audience who wants you to keep doing something as a full-time job, to move from one place to another when it's easy for them to just stay where they are. It's immensely difficult, and I'm so appreciative of everyone who has gone over to Blip, because I think it is a great site. I think their ad program is way better than Google AdSense. I think it makes sense that people should watch.
And this is the thing too that gets on my nerves: his constant dick sucking when he monkey bars from one situation to another, and everything's fantastic until he gets kicked off, and then all of a sudden he demonizes them the best way he can. He's very much a woman in that way, like a fucking angry, scorned, bitter woman. You know what I'm saying? And shit. He's very much like that. Like the bitch comes out of him. I'm not even say a woman, because that's insulting to women. The bitch comes out of him quite a bit in those type of situations. It's very, very irritating. And I can understand why no one really wants to stay around him unless you have to.
The ads, that's how it works on TV, right? You watch TV, you watch an ad, the advertiser pays that network, and that network gets the money from it. It's common sense.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but all right. Because I just found out that like one of the first billionaires in entertainment literally made his money by having like these shitty little half-hour to hour shows on syndicated television, and people paid in ads. Different ad companies would pay him to run their ads on his show, and that's how he made like his first $1 billion and shit. It's really fascinating, actually. I won't do a video on it, but I may like talk about it on a segment or something, like on a stream or some shit. It's super fucking interesting and whatnot. And that person it has ties to what's his name, Al Heyman, and because I'm following that whole thing with the Pacquiao Floyd fight, because that shit might not happen, because Floyd's running around trying to make it seem like it's supposed to be an expedition or an exhibition and not a real fight, but he still wants like $50-100 million for this shit, and everybody else is like, oh no, your win streak, your record's on the line for this. This isn't an exhibition. Sorry, this is not an exhibition. If you lose the fucking to Manny, you're taking that, you're losing your W, or you're losing your O, your zero, if you will. You're going to take a loss if you don't do it. And he's trying really, really hard, meaning Floyd, to have the rules changed. And Netflix is like, oh, no, if we're paying you all this money, you're doing this. And then Floyd wants allegedly, Floyd wants he wants an advance on his money, which isn't uncommon, believe it or not. But like, the reason why he thinks it's justified to get an advance on the money is because he believes this is an exhibition, sorry, and whatnot, and not an actual fight, which you shouldn't be wanting. I want all my money up front. I mean, not up front, but I want all my money when the job's done. Fucking A, I don't want any advancement on that bullshit. Hell no. Because if it does even better and whatnot, then I might be able to get I might even get more money on the back end and shit. So I don't know why you'd want to touch any of that money up front outside of what they're willing to offer you off rip. But anyway, that's a whole nother story for another day.
So I love Blip TV, I really do. And I want to continue working with them, and I am so blindsided.
You could tell he wants to cuss them the fuck out, and he can't.
By what happened today. Because, like I said, I've never been given any kind of negativity whatsoever from Blip. And I could see, YouTube. YouTube has said to me, you violated our terms of service. For example, when I was doing my Dante's Inferno playthrough, and in part 1, there was a half-second clip I didn't, realize at the time. But your wife, she's dying. There's show her boob or something. Now, first of all, it's a virtual boob, okay? But what did YouTube do? Did they cancel my account? No. They said, okay, Phil, well, this is a violation because it did have some virtual nudity. So they basically put a strike against my account and took the video down.
Damn, they hit your ass with a strike and they took the video down? God damn. Holy shit. Holy shit. And he said it was the days of milk and honey back in those days. God damn, a virtual titty. And he sat there and did that to you? Wow, son.
This is the first time I have any idea that I'm doing anything wrong, and they're saying they're basically going to kick me off the business, and there's no way to even talk about it. There's no open line of dialogue, and that's what I'm worried about. As everyone knows, you know, I haven't had the easiest time, and starting in September when I lost my job, it's been hard. It's been a struggle. First of all, to stay positive, and second of all, to do this full time is a significant investment of time, and at least for the most part, I've gotten extremely positive feedback. People saying, we love what you do, keep doing it. What I would really like, and I hope that people at Blip are watching this video, is to open a live dialogue and to talk about it and see what we can do to work it out. And if it means, okay, don't do that kind of stuff because we're actually afraid our advertisers will get mad or something like that, or they, you know, fine. But this was a comment made as a joke. It was an off-the-wall joke on the spot. And by the way, I don't plan out anything that I do in my videos. It's all improv. So it was off the wall, on the spot. I was basically trying to take the scary out of the scary game, because a lot of people get terrified at these games, and they say, Phil, when you actually play them and you, with your commentary, you make it funny. So we're actually able to watch you, you know, enjoy this game in a different way, and we actually admire that. That's why we like your videos. So I'm just trying to, you know, lighten the mood and be funny. If anyone took offense, I apologize, and none of my comments ever have been serious, and everyone knows that. I have friends of every single color. I'm not a racist or
I hate when people use that shit as an excuse. Fuck you, Dave. That's so pathetic.
a bigot, and I think that's ridiculous. And on the flip side of it, I could see if I was right here on the couch right here, and this was a video about how I hate a certain race or something like that, that's completely different, and that has no place on any website, including Blip TV, and I'm sure advertisers don't want to be associated with that. But I've seen, like I said, I've listened to Howard Stern, I've watched Family Guy, I've watched South Park, I've seen things on regular TV, which, by the way, didn't say it was TV unrated like all of my videos do, and that they may contain explicit content.
Why would I care if I'm Blip TV? I'm sorry, Phil, just because TV is in the name doesn't mean that I'm holding my what's going on my platform to the same standards as fucking national television. Like, you have to be fucking regarded to be sitting back and thinking this was a valid argument. Holy fuck, bruh.
And it has way worse than the stuff that I do. So,
oh yeah, facts. The dude has no friends. Whatever. The dude has literally no friends and whatnot. Like, at this time, it's like, yo, where was John at? Like, why didn't John set you straight, bruh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did you call John before you decided to record this shit? Like, fucking A, bruh. Like, this is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I am just...
Yeah, I do see a bit of the correlation between him and Chris Chan. It's kind of hard to ignore it, to be honest.
Completely flabbergasted at what happened, and that no one came to talk to me, especially since I've had an open line of dialogue with Blip for the past month. This open line of communication, I've been told you're doing great, everything you're doing is great, and we love it, and now all of a sudden I'm being told, nope, you screwed up, goodbye. It's like, I basically use this analogy. Imagine if you got a new job, and your job is to hammer nails into a piece of wood, and sure, on the job, whatever, you signed the waiver when you first get the job, but as soon as you go in, you're hammering, and your boss comes up and looks at you and says, good job, Phil, you hammered those in really well. And for the whole month, they couldn't come back to you, good job. In fact, here's a way to do it a little bit better. Good job, good job. And the
question is, after an entire month, did you actually build anything, Phil? Now, I know you're not a carpenter. You don't know shit to do with a set of tools, so I'm kind of preaching to the choir with this one. But, like, did you actually build anything in a month, Phil? Just out of curiosity? Did you ever think about that in your analogy? You spent the entire, like, month fucking driving nails into wood. But did you build anything? Yikes, son.
At the end of 30 days, he says, well, here's your paycheck for what you did. Oh, but by the way, you've been doing it wrong the whole month. You're fired.
That's hilarious.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly the situation here. So, please, Blip, appealing to you, okay? Because I don't know if Eric's going to get to his email. Open a line of dialogue. Give me a call. Respond to this. I'll give you my phone number. Let's talk.
Don't they already have your number though, Phil? Don't they have all your contact information? Anyway.
And let's figure this out. That's all I ask. You know, I'm so insanely taken aback by what's going on here that I don't even know how to react. I mean, it's really hard. I've been trying to be positive for the past 4 months, but it's hard when you get stuff like this, and it's like, this was something so positive. Blip has...
Now, keep in mind, Mommy and Daddy were taking care of his ass, too. Keep that in mind. Like, let's not... I want to make sure that's not lost in the shuffle. Mommy and Daddy were supporting him financially, too.
It's been such a positive impact.
That's why when people are like, yeah, fuck Phil, but I don't want to see him homeless. Phil will never be homeless. He can always go back home. That's something that most people can't say. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people don't have family that they can go back to if shit hits the fan or whatever. Phil has that. He's not out here and shit, and he didn't get it up and out the mud. You see what I'm saying? I just want to point that out.
In my life in the past month after all the crap that happened with YouTube, and now come to find out it seems like the same thing's happening, and it's like, whoa, what the heck, man? So that's all I ask. Open a line of dialogue and let's go from there. Now, to the fans. Number one, be mature adults. I've now told you the entire situation factually, okay? Be mature adults. Don't flame Blip TV.
Which is exactly what he wants. Which is exactly what he wants.
Number one, be mature adults. I've now told you the entire situation factually, okay? Be mature adults. Don't flame Blip TV. Don't do any crazy stuff. Act your age, okay? Act mature. And we'll go through this together like we've done everything else. And whatever happens, happens, and we'll take it from here, you know? This is why I'm glad, and I said this from day one, since I started doing this, I have not spent any significant amount of money. I've been very...
Oh, imagine that. Let me bring that back.
On everything else, and whatever happens, happens, and we'll take it from here, you know? This is why I'm glad, and I said this from day one, since I started doing this, I have not spent any significant amount of money. I've been very conservative with my spending, and therefore, I have, you know, a means at least to keep going for a while without having to worry about being destitute. But obviously, if this now is gone within a month, I can't work at Blip anymore, I'm going to have to try other avenues, and who knows where that's going to lead us. So, let's be...
What's wrong, Phil? Were you going to whore yourself out like your fucking future sister-in-law? Is that what you were going to do, Phil? That's wild, bro. I don't know what exactly you were planning on doing or what you thought you were going to be resorted to doing, but that sounds kind of ominous.
Calm. Let's be cool, complacent. Let's stay positive. Let's work together. Fans, behave. Blip, please contact me.
And here's the thing. If I'm Blip and I'm hearing him telling this to his fans, why the fuck would I want you around? Why the fuck would I want them around? That sounds like a problem. Like, there's so many red flags at this end on the, well, this whole video is just one massive red flag. But at the end of this, that definitely sounds like I'm glad I got the fuck rid of you. For real, for real.
Talk about it, and that's that. That's the whole story, and we'll go from there. So, it is what it is. I tell it like it happened, and we'll go and we'll see what happens. So I'm DSP. I'll see you guys later. And like I said, stay positive. And Fan Appreciation Week is continuing tomorrow.
All right, so we're gonna go to the LD. Well, I have to go to the LD video now because I'm pretty sure LD has the aftermath of this. But before I do that, let me go ahead and drop this down in the chat, so at least you guys have it. Bloop and whatnot, because I appreciate this. I appreciate this. And paste. All right, there you go. Okay, so whoa. Okay, let's see here. Full Blip story. What happened in the future of? Oh, is this what happened? Is this what led his ass to go to Blip in the first place? Like, is this him telling the story? Ooh, that might be a good one. I don't think I've ever watched this. Or I have, but I've watched like a condensed version of it. All right, anyway, let's see here. Let's see here. All right. So here, let's go to the LD version of this. Let's see here. Oh shit, Mikey No More is doing a stream on the quartering. Big ups. I'm gonna have to check that out in a minute. And DNA has another diss track against Jay Mills. Oh, never mind. That's like 5 months ago. I've already heard that one. All right, bet. Let's see here. All right, chat. I'm gonna jump ahead in this just a little bit. His is 31 minutes. I'm pretty confident we've seen the bulk of this. So, and that's the actual video itself. All right. All right, so let's jump. Let me bring you guys in here real fast. Bloop. All right, here we go. Bloop. Here we go again. Pay attention to his chin, by the way. I've it's an interesting situation. Okay, so I think this is him doing his nonsense.
And now look at this. Their greed has had the artifact to turn everyone into necromorphs.
Yeah. That's real cute, Phil. That's real fucking cute. Oh man, you knew what you were doing there, son.
Leave it to a Jew to drop in uninvited. Phil is far from the only 28-year-old that has found themselves laid off from their jobs and in financial straits, when instead of sucking up his pride and taking a crappy job and moving back in with his parents, he's decided to panhandle his fan base.
Which is true. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Fair enough.
The relationship that DSP has with the fans is now totally based on money,
Yep.
and I fail to see how such a situation can end any way but badly. Save your pennies for your personal rainy...
Here, let me bring that shit back. Oh my god, they called this shit back in those days, bro.
Fucker. Leave it to a Jew to drop in uninvited. Phil is far from the only 28-year-old that has found themselves laid off from their jobs and in financial straits, when instead of sucking up his pride and taking a crappy job and moving back in with his parents, he's decided to panhandle his fan base. The relationship that DSP has with the fans is now totally based on money.
Transactional, sure.
And I fail to see how such a situation can end any way but badly. Save your pennies for your personal rainy days ahead.
I wonder if that's the first time Phil ever heard of Rainy Day. That's just me, though.
And force Phil to be accountable for himself. Holy shit. This guy fucking is so jealous of my popularity and the fact that for 4 or 5 months now, yeah, I've been able to turn this into a business per se and been able to support myself.
A business per se? What were they saying on your taxes, Phil?
That he is fucking reporting me falsely to websites to try to get me banned and fuck me over, so I have to stop doing this for a living. Wow. You are a shithead.
But if that doesn't work, the last resort is Blip TV. But the problem with Blip TV is that they outright say in their terms and conditions that you're not supposed to upload video game footage. Now, a lot of people have contacted me and said, well, that's bullshit, because we see people with video game footage on there all the time. Well, that's true. There's always people who are going to abuse the rules. The problem is, if I put video game footage up there, and a lot of my viewers from YouTube follow over, it's probably going to get a lot of attention, and they might say something.
What you will see today is that in about an hour, John, myself, and our friend Joe, we're going to play Serious Sam the Second Encounter, co-op gameplay over Xbox Live. I'm going to record that, and then that's going to be going up on Blip TV today. First of all, today is the big day. The first DLC for Fallout New Vegas, Dead Money, just came out. I'm about to wolf down some breakfast, and then I'm going to start playing it. So this is going to be the first demo of using Blip TV for an actual Let's Play, and it's good because it's a DLC. It's not going to be like an 8-hour-long thing.
Good.
We'll be able to test it together and see what we think. Fan Appreciation Week. Here's how it's going to work. Every weekday this week...
Wait, you're rocking a do-rag? Oh, no, you're not. All right, for a minute there, I was like, wait a second, what the fuck you doing?
Monday through Friday, I'm going to be playing a different game, okay? Monday's going to be Halo Reach. Tuesday will be Super Street Fighter 4. Wednesday will be Call of Duty Black Ops. Thursday will be Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And Friday will be Red Dead Redemption. And also, yes, I will be recording the matches and the footage. Maybe not all of it, because 6 hours of footage is a shitload of footage. But I'll be recording some of it to put up on Blip TV.
He's fucking black. Help, he's black.
Because you know when he's black, there's going to be trouble. What the hell?
Ow. He shot the fucking handcuffs. Now what? Oh shit! Oh shit! Get out of there, Jin. Come on, go, go, go.
Cheated.
Oh, come on, asshole. Don't get your legs squished. You don't want to be like fucking... What's his name? What the hell's the guy who was Superman? I forget his name. Christopher Reeve.
Oh, jeez. That joke, Phil.
I know. What?
That's terrible.
Christopher Reeve jokes are always funny. What are you talking
It's
about?
okay because he's dead.
All right, nigga. It's time.
In China, they say, rashness brings success to few.
In China, they say, Chiggy Chang Wang Charlie Chan Chicka Chaka Choka Cha.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't care what they say in China.
But wait, I thought everybody loved DSP in his commentary and no one had a problem with it. What? Like, what? What's this? Like, this has to be Photoshop, right? Like, the numbers have been switched around and shit? What? Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. That's silly. That was that was silly as shit. All right, here. I got one more thing I want to show y'all real fast. Let's see. Actually, maybe two things, but let me see what this is. This is December 13th, 2010. The full story of Blip TV and what happened. Okay, let's see what this is.
What's up, everyone? DSP here, and the video that you've been waiting for is here. In this video, I'm going to recap for those who haven't been up to speed on what's been going on with me over the past week or so. What's happened here on YouTube. I'm also going to explain what my plans are for the future, how you can help, how you can keep me making videos like I've been doing for the past 2.5 months, and I'm going to explain how Blip TV works because I've gotten thousands of questions about it. I've done some research, I figured it out, and I'm going to give you some useful info right now. So first of all, if you didn't see the video a couple days ago, I'll recap it in a nutshell so that way everyone can just watch this one video and you'll...
Yeah, people hated him back then. Like, I've never understood why he thought or why he believes. He can say some of the shit that he says and no one's going to go back and look. Like, most of that shit's still available on one of his many channels, or there's a Detractor archive for it. So, like, there's no way you could say everybody loved him and his content, because that's clearly not true. Like, that never made any sense. And how he thought he was going to get away with it for as long as he did is just wild work in itself.
Understand the whole situation. I've been doing YouTube videos for roughly 2.5 years now as a hobby. I always had a full-time job, and this was something that...
Yeah, but he also had a PayPal, and he used to beg people to give him money on PayPal so he could afford games. I don't know why he believes people don't remember that either, but womp womp.
That I did on the side, and I did video game playthroughs, video game reviews, and things like that. Over the course of the 2.5 years, I also made another channel where I decided it would be like a video blog channel, and also I'd be able to give you updates on my plans and what I'd be doing with games and things like that on my gaming channel. And that one actually ended up becoming a YouTube partner channel that was approved for the Google AdSense program. So...
Well, yeah, because you couldn't monetize gameplay at that time.
Basically, it's been a hobby. It's been going pretty swimmingly until about 2.5 months ago, which was the end of September. I actually was laid off from my full-time job. And in the interim there, I couldn't even get a new job because there was this whole thing going on with a severance agreement and things like that. So I said, you know what, I've got a month or two here. Let me really put some dedication.
Wait, I thought you got fired in October.
Get a new job because a YouTube partner channel that was approved for the Google AdSense program. So basically, it's been a hobby. It's been going pretty swimmingly until about 2.5 months ago, which was the end of September. I actually was laid off from my full-time job. And in the interim there, I couldn't even get a new job because there was this whole thing going on with a severance agreement and things like that.
So why would a severance agreement, why would that exactly, prevent you from getting a new job? Like, I'm kind of curious on how that, on how that's a thing. Because not only did he get a severance package, right, but they also, his father had set up a a 401k form, which DSP ain't sat there and tanked that shit. He cashed that out damn near immediately. So you had a 401k, you had a severance package, and your parents were financially supporting you, and you somehow fucked up all three of those things. Okay, fair enough.
So I said, you know what? I've got a month or two here. Let me really put some dedication to YouTube. Let me see if I can turn this somehow into a full-time job.
But that doesn't make any sense, though, because like I said, he's not explaining to me how the severance package that they were negotiating somehow prevented him from getting a new job. Because he told us that the reason why he couldn't get a new job is because there were no jobs in Connecticut. Now he's saying that the severance package that was being negotiated for him was preventing him from getting a new job. Okay.
And what I ended up doing was I basically played every single major game this year that came out in the fourth quarter. And all those video game playthroughs are up on my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming. But at the same time, I created several new series on my partner channel, The King of Hate HD. And actually, fan feedback was overwhelming. Everyone loved the new series. There's DSP Tries It, where I tried to...
Yo, check this out. Look at how far his fucking snort sacks protrude here. Look at that shit. Good God, look at all that. Okay. All right, Phil. That's a strange mutation you got there, buddy.
Different products, different food, things like that, and I review them. There's The Hateful Truth, where I review video games. There's Smart Guys, where we basically, John Rambo and I each week do a commentary on pro wrestling. Ask the King, where I do fan mail and answer questions. The King's Verdict, where I compare two things and give my opinion on which I think is the best. I mean, those are just a couple. There's so much new content that's been up on the King of Hate HD. Fan feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and actually because so many people were watching the videos and you know, they jumped. I have a website now, thekingofhate.com. There was so much fan participation that I was actually able to make a living out of it for a couple of months. Well, unfortunately, there's some bad news. Just this week, Google decided to suspend my AdSense account, meaning that there's basically no way that I can make money off.
Okay, so this right here is basically what happened to him on YouTube that led him to run the blip. Got it.
Of the videos on the King of Hate HD anymore. It's still considered a partner channel, but as you'll see, any new videos that I put up there don't have ads, and anything older that has ads, I no longer basically get anything for that. So
then how's it a partner channel then, Phil? Like, it's just be honest and say it got departnered, because it did. All right, whatever.
So I'm no longer getting paid by Google to do anything on YouTube. Because of this, I now have to figure out a plan B. And I did figure out a plan B, and I'm very positive that it's going to work, especially from the first couple of days' results. So let me explain what's going to happen. First of all, my game playthroughs are not going any...
Dude, Dwight, that's the whole method behind the madness. All you need, or all he needs, is one person to agree with him. And then that just speaks for the masses. And it's not even that they were the loudest person, right? It was just, you just need one person that agrees with whatever his methodology or whatever the fucking narrative that he needs it to be in the story. And that's how it always has been, apparently, and that's how it always will be, to the last dent.
Anywhere. Any games that I play, the footage is still going to go up on my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming. A lot of people have misinformation about this. It's not true. I'm not going anywhere. Everything's going to stay on DSP Gaming for gaming footage. Now, what is changing is that all of the shows that I have created over the past 2.5 months, which I was putting on the King of Hate HD, I now have to take off of YouTube and put them on a new website where I can attempt to basically make a living by doing this.
Wait, so you didn't sign an exclusivity deal? You're just moving it over there because that's the only way you can get paid for it. So wait a second. So he was still doing raw footage, and that was going up on DSP Gaming. And then his quote-unquote transformative shit went to blip. But it wasn't transformative, and it was just random, meandering, and it was breaking their TOS habitually. Oh my God, I'm glad I saw that. I probably should have played this video first then, before the actual him getting kicked off a blip, because this literally tells the story. To be honest, it tells you like the whole plot. What a punchable face. That's fantastic. That's a punchable face too. Holy shit. Okay. That's all right. Fair enough.
True. I'm not going anywhere. Everything's going to stay on DSP Gaming for gaming footage. Now, What is changing is that all of the shows that I have created over the past 2.5 months, which I was putting on the King of Hate HD, I now have to take off of YouTube and put them on a new website where I can attempt to basically make a living. By doing this, that website is going to be blip.tv. On this website, what happens is any videos that are put on there, based off of the amount of views on those videos, I can get paid. There's potential to make money per view. And that's because, obviously, there's ads on the videos. Now, there's always been ads on the videos on the stuff I've done on YouTube. Now there's going to be ads on the videos on Blip TV. The good news is, all you need to do if you want to support me is go to Blip TV and watch the videos. It's that simple. You don't have to do any kind of active participation whatsoever. You just watch the videos.
He's low-key admitting that he had them do, that he did break TOS by asking them to do something. Think about how this is worded.
Want to support me is go to Blip TV and watch the videos. It's that simple. You don't have to do any kind of active participation whatsoever. You just watch the videos.
Now, take that in. So he low-key admitted that he was breaking TOS by making them engage with the ads. Here's my question, because I'm under the impression that he's lying about the initial conversation he was supposed to have with Blip about the ads. I think he's lying about that. I don't think that ever was supposed to happen. I think he's just saying that. But let's play devil's advocate, devil's snorts here. And let's say that there was supposed to be an actual conversation about that. What type of information was he expecting to extrapolate from it? Like, there is no way to manipulate ads, apparently. They just watch the footage, the ads are playing, they can't do anything else. They just have to watch it and then keep it pushing. So what exactly did you need from that meeting to give you a leg up as it pertains to how their ad system works? That part doesn't make any sense to me, which makes me think that he's lying about it.
And for every video that's watched from start to finish, I get paid. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, it makes sense. It's a lot better than having to go out of your way to do crazy stuff. All you have to do is go watch the videos, which is what you've wanted to do from day one anyway.
So he was dependent on people binge watching his videos in a playlist type format. And that makes a lot more sense now. That's why he never gave up on the whole idea of watching that's the reason why he still doesn't give a fuck about how the videos go up on the channel, because the whole point is to have it in a playlist that you binge watch from beginning to end over and over and over again, and basically in a repetitive manner. And okay, he got that idea from blip.tv. It wasn't something that he formulated on YouTube. Blip did it that way, so that's what he wanted. Okay.
Anyway,
that's good to know.
There's ups and downs to Blip TV. I've said thousands of times that...
Facts. That's true. It's very true. If you think it's a lie, then automatically it probably will assume that it is. The thing is... That's true. That's true. But the thing is, though, is like, not that I have to. I don't have to do shit. But I feel the need to give a bit of wiggle room so I can see what his narrative is clearly. Because if not, like, don't be wrong. Like, I would say 10 out of 10 times he's lying. For sure. But I also don't want to develop tunnel vision. Because if you start doing that, then that leads into... Then you'll just assume everything about everything. And I don't want to assume everything. I want to be able to prove it. But that is a good point, though. Like 99.99% of the time that he's lying. So that is a fair point.
Unfortunately, yes, YouTube is the best website right now for video sharing because its user interface is the easiest. You can make playlists. It's easy to search. So what I'm going to do now is, number one, I'm going to give you some tips on how to use Blip TV.
What?
And then number two, I'm going to explain what my plans are for the future and how you can help. So, number one, people have said, well, Phil, you've got some videos over on Blip TV now, and if you don't know, the address is darksidephil.blip.tv. That's my main page. And if you go there, there's actually a little...
Your dumbass couldn't even edit that in? Because I've seen that before. A troll did it. So a troll had to do what you couldn't. That's crazy.
Link in the corner that says Episode Archive.
That's crazy.
And when you click that, it'll show you all the videos that I've uploaded to Blip TV. Now, people have said, the problem that we are having with Blip TV is that, number one, the videos load slow. Okay, that's a given. That's because Blip TV isn't as big as YouTube. They don't have the server capacity. They can't instantly give you what you want. And every once in a while, you're going to have some problems. I apologize if that happens. There's nothing you can do. Keep refreshing. Keep coming back to see if the videos work. If you're seeing absolutely nothing...
Wait, he says keep refreshing. That makes me wonder, how does the ads, then how does that affect ads, ladies and gentlemen? Because let's say that a video, well, first off, if the video is buffering, the video being slow or loading slow and then just outright buffering are two separate things, but that's semantics. My question is, if you start the video and it's, let's say it's just playing slow and then you restart it, how does that affect your ads? How does that affect revenue from ads being generated if you're essentially refreshing the same video over and over and over again and at different times in the videos being played? See, I won't be able to know any of that now, but I wonder what that is. Like, why wouldn't he just ask them to pause the video and then let that shit kind of catch up a little bit and then go from there? Huh. Okay.
It's probably because you have an ad blocker on, and the ad blocker is probably going to block the video altogether because the video has ads on it. So take the damn ad blocker off when you go to Blip TV. It's pretty simple.
Oh, that's that Monday Matt, take off that pesky ad block. Oh, that's funny.
Besides that, there's really nothing else you...
Wait, Phil, did you say that people who use ad block are stealing from you? I know you said that, or you said some variation of that.
You can do. If you have problems, I apologize, but that's just the website. I know I've had problems with Blip TV before, so it is what it is. Besides that, people have said, well, we love YouTube because we subscribed to you on YouTube and we could see whenever you had new videos up just by going to our subscriptions page.
DSP can't help it. He can't help going out of his way to be dishonest. It's just, it's not dishonesty in his mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just a natural human thing that he believes everyone else is doing, which is kind of one of the reasons why he's the shut-in that he is. Because he, for whatever reason, honestly believes that people are out to lie, steal, and cheat you. So when he does it, he can justify that. But he believes everybody else is doing that too. But that's weird, because if that's the case, then why are you crying and complaining about not being able to do collaborations with people? Why are you crying and complaining about not having sponsorships and endorsements and all this other bullshit if you believe that everybody's out to rip you off in the first place? That doesn't make any sense. But then that doesn't matter, because he's willing to have people shit on himself and on his family members and on his audience, to say the very least, if he gets the benefit. So, like, where do we draw the line with all that?
How do we do that with Blip TV?
Is there even really a line, if you think about it?
There doesn't seem to be a way to subscribe to anyone on Blip TV. The answer to that is simple. You're not going to subscribe. What you're going to do is basically mark my episodes listing as a favorite in your browser, and then whenever you want to check to see if there's a new video, go there and you'll see if there's...
Oh, that's actually a fantastic point, Logan. I never thought about it that way. I never thought about it that way. Let's see here.
Logan K says, if ads were done per click, that could be seen as manipulation. I would attribute that to him being slow rather than malicious.
Fair point. Fair point. Big ups. Interesting.
New videos, they actually come up first. So, again, all you're going to do, you go to Blip TV, you can type in Dark Side Phil, hit enter, you know, it'll come up with videos that are related to me. Find one that I put up there, it'll say whatever by Dark Side Phil, click on my name, you'll then go to my page, click on the episodes listing or episode archive.
Is that how Blip really worked? Fuck all that. That just sounds like way more than it needs to be. Speaking of which, this little hand signal he has here, this fucking piggy gang sign he likes to do, he's been doing this for years. He still does something similar to this day. So I don't know if that's like a tick or what, but he loves this pose for some reason. I don't know what it is, but he loves doing that shit.
Videos, they actually come up first. So, again, all you're going to do, you go to Blip TV, you can type in Dark Side Phil, hit enter, you know, it'll come up with videos that are related to me. Find one that I put up there, it'll say whatever by Dark Side Phil, click on my name, you'll then go to my page, click on the episodes listing or episode archive, you'll see everything there, and that'll be the newest ones that I've uploaded will be on top of the screen.
So wait, so if I go to if I did go to blip.tv, type your name in, it doesn't take me directly to your channel? It takes me to a bunch of videos that you may have done, and then I got to click on that. That finally takes me to your channel. Then I got to go through a playlist to find. Fuck all that shit. I can see why that shit didn't last as long as it did. That's insane. That's insane.
Just mark it as a favorite in your browser. Add the favorites or what a bookmark, whatever it's called in the browser that you use.
Holy
now,
shit.
whenever you go back to that link, it'll refresh itself with the newest videos on top, and basically you're subscribed to me on Blip TV. Now, there's a couple things that I want to talk about Blip TV that's a little bit different from YouTube. Number one, the videos are not in HD. I understand that. For bandwidth purposes, it's probably better that I don't upload the videos there in HD, simply because it's going to probably bog down the servers. Now, there is the ability to use HD, but for me, I would actually have to pay a monthly fee in order to upload HD videos to Blip TV.
Wait, but he told us in his Blip breakup video that they upgraded him to HD for free. So did they really offer that to you, or did you beg for that? Interesting.
Right now, I don't want to do that because I'm just starting. But let's say in a month, this is working out really well, I might not have a problem doing that. It's not a lot of money either. It's pretty cheap to do it.
So then did they really upgrade you to HD for free, or did you agree to pay for it? I don't know, chat. Maybe we found him in another lie. But according to what he's saying here, HD was going to cost him a little bit of money, but he was willing to pay it because fuck it. But then he tells us in the breakup video that they upgraded him to HD for free. I don't know.
But just for me, I just want to see if this is going to work before I start spending money to get the higher quality. Number two, Blip TV is a little bit...
So you don't think your audience that you're begging to go from one platform to another is worth, you know, paying this very little bit of money that you say is not very much to give them HD quality? It tells you something.
Different than YouTube in the fact of how I upload my videos. With YouTube, I would just upload a video and it would show up in 10 different formats for everyone. You could see it in 240p, 360p, 480p, 720p, an iPod format, a mobile format. It does all that automatically for you. Blip TV, unfortunately, does not do that. You actually have to manually pick each format that you want to convert your video to. So what I started doing as of yesterday, because I didn't realize this, I'm now converting it to the standard format, which is the 480p, and I'm also converting to the iPhone and iPod formats, because 100 people, literally 100 people have contacted me saying, Phil, we don't watch your videos on our computer, we've been going through our phones, or we've been going through the iPod, and unfortunately we can't do that now because it's not converting it to that file type. That problem should be solved, okay? Excuse me. Now, other people have contacted me and said, well, Phil, it looks like we could subscribe to you on iTunes, but does that help you? Unfortunately, the answer to that is no, it doesn't. If you subscribe to me on iTunes for my Blip TV videos, you'll still be able to see everything through iTunes, but there's very few, if any, ads on those videos, and therefore I don't get credit for any of those videos. So I understand if that's the easiest way for you to do it, but I do ask that if you're going to do that, if you have the time, please jump on a PC at some point and still watch some of the videos on the website so that I get credit for it. Now, what do I plan on doing in the future? How is Blip TV going to work with my videos? Okay, starting today, I'm going to start putting videos on Blip TV, and here's the way it's going to work. Again, I'm not leaving YouTube, so don't panic. I'm not.
Yeah, I do remember the whole Teespring thing, Logan. Yeah, there's quite a bit of a there are quite a few patterns being established here. Absolutely.
I'm going to stop putting videos on YouTube. Here's the plan. I need to incentivize a reason for people to go to Blip TV rather than just stay on YouTube and watch my stuff here for free. So, what am I going to do? Starting today, as you know, I've been doing my top 10 year-end series. What I'm going to do is today I'm going to put all the new parts for the top 10 worst gaming moments of 2010 on Blip TV exclusively, and they'll be up there for a day or two, and after a day or two of them being on Blip TV, then I'm going to put them on my DSP Gaming channel in HD. So basically, here's the bottom line. If you support me, if you want me to continue to be able to do videos like this full time, check out all my new stuff on Blip TV, and then later on, if you want, you can see the higher quality versions on YouTube once I upload them here. So what I'm going to be doing, for example today, once I get the videos up on Blip TV, I'll do a preview video on DSP Gaming, and it'll basically say, okay, here's the 4 parts that I've uploaded today on Blip TV. Here are the links. Go check them out. And then in 2 days, once that's up, once it's been some time past, I'll upload the full quality versions to YouTube.
So you wanted them to double. So you wanted the double dip, and you thought they would watch the same shit twice, basically. And you really thought that was gonna work? That's audacious.
So, people that absolutely are 100,000,000% against Blip TV and don't give a shit about supporting me, which I know there's people out there. I mean, let's face it. Even though I've been giving you free stuff for 2.5 years, there are people out there who are still...
I was giving you bold little bitch. Yes. Let me hear that again, Phil.
That's up once,
Let your anger flow.
It's been
Let the greed overtake you.
I'll upload the full quality versions to YouTube. So, people that absolutely are 100,000,000% against Blip TV and don't give a shit about supporting me, which I know there's people out there. I mean, let's face it. Even though I've been giving you free stuff for 2.5 years, there are people out there who are still, they just take, and don't give a shit.
Jesus Christ. But Phil, I thought you said you were doing this for 2.5 years and there was no way for you to get paid, despite the fact that King of Hate HD was getting monetized and you had a PayPal account where people could give you money there. Now you're sitting here saying that you were putting out this content for free and people want to take and not give back. God damn, chat. That's tough. That maybe that is a justification for begging, bro. I don't know. That's that's a hard pill to swallow there, boy. That's brave. That's brave as fuck talking like that. That's some greasy ass talk.
Some time passed, I'll upload the full quality versions to YouTube. So, people that absolutely are 100...
Oh, absolutely not. There's not one video that I've watched from DSP in all the time that I've watched DSP and not thought that he was lying. Absolutely fucking not. And whatnot. Or at least not lying, or at least not being completely honest. But yeah, for sure. I've never watched a piece of content that anybody's ever made about DSP that wasn't a lie. That wasn't DSP lying, I should say. Let me make it a bit more clear. So for sure. Don't get me wrong.
Dwight Race says, Golden Triangle Gaming, ask yourself this question. Have you ever watched a DSP stream or video and he didn't try to lie to you?
Yeah, not at all. I can't think of not one time that he hasn't tried. So, no, I get what you mean.
1,000,000% against Blip TV and don't give a shit about supporting me, which I know there's people out there. I mean, let's face it. Even though I've been giving you free stuff for 2.5 years, there are people out there who are still, they just take, and don't give a shit. Whatever, I understand. That's the world. That's how some people are. You can still see all my stuff on YouTube. You're just going to have to wait a couple days. Everyone who wants to go over to Blip TV and help me out, you'll be able to see this stuff first. So there's an incentive to go to Blip TV because you get to see this stuff first. Then, in a couple days, you get to see the HD versions here on YouTube. Now, by no means whatsoever am I doing this with every single video, okay? The videos that I'll be doing this with for now are the top 10 series for the rest of the year, and also any of the series that I created here on the King of Hate HD. So, for example, DSP Tries It, The Hateful Truth, Ask the King, Smart Guys, King's Verdict, Cooking with the King. And by the way, there is a new episode of Cooking with the King up that has not been uploaded to YouTube about...
Wow, you literally were offloading all your slop over there. Damn. So this was supposed to be all of your new shows that you were curating for fucking Blip? That's wild. No wonder they got you up and out of there. No wonder why they said his content was just random and meandering. Because there is no focus to none of it. It's just slop for the sake of slop. Oh, fantastic.
9,000 people have checked it out, but that's surprising because usually on YouTube I get 30 to 40,000. I get the feeling a lot of people either don't know or don't like Blip TV and just don't want to go over there. Well, that's the only way you're going to be able to see those videos. What I will be doing is when I put new videos up on Blip TV that used to be on the King of Hate HD, I'll be putting an update video here on the King of Hate HD so that you know what's going on, and I'll have the links there so that you can just jump over and see the videos. So that's how I'm going to do it for now. And I want to kind of do this as a demo run. I want to see if I do this, say, till the end of 2010 and maybe the first month of 2011, what the potential is there. And if there's enough potential to basically make a living doing it like that, then we're good and dandy, and I'll let everyone know. Now, by no means is this the only thing I'm doing. Like I've said in a previous video, but again, I just want to summarize everything into this one. I have looked into doing a couple other things. I've contacted a couple websites. I've also contacted a couple other channels here on YouTube to see if they would like to maybe do an agreement where I can give them some things. For example, maybe I give them The Hateful Truth as a show that I do twice a month, and that way I'll put more production value into it, and it'll be a lot better show, and they can run it on their stuff, and maybe I get some money for that. You know,
wait, what?
A contractual agreement.
Wait. What were you doesn't, and that sounds like a break of TOS. But wait a second. Didn't this piece of garbage, didn't this piece of shit just say yesterday about how Kino Casino and how fucking name, memory don't fail me now, Keemstar were somehow circumventing YouTube's TOS by basically putting their content on somebody else's channel, but they get like a cut of the profits and shit? But according to what he's saying here, he tried to do the exact same thing. Oh, you silly, what a punchable face. Holy fuck, Phil. Oh, I gotta hear this part again. I almost let that slide.
The only thing I'm doing, like I've said in a previous video, but again, I just want to summarize everything into this one. I have looked into doing a couple other things. I've contacted a couple websites. I've also contacted a couple other channels here on YouTube to see if they would like to maybe do an agreement where I can give them some things. For example, maybe I give them The Hateful Truth as a show that I do twice.
So wait, he theoretically tried to reach out to IGN and some of those early gaming sites, and they just didn't reach back. They were like, yeah, this is garbage. We're not interested in any of this shit. But he's literally admitting here he tried to reach out to them to see if they would do that. Oh, I didn't know that at all. He made it sound like, because, excuse me, in later years, he basically said that, you know, he wanted his audience to go ahead and, you know, was it like or follow, like, share, whatever, like spread the word, all that bullshit. And he wanted people to send his shit to some of these other gaming publishers and whatnot, websites or whatever. So maybe some of his shit could get featured. He never said that he ever tried to reach out to those places himself to do it. Huh. Interesting.
Do it for now. And I want to kind of do this as a demo run. I want to see if I do this, say, till the end of 2010 and maybe the first month of 2011, you know, what the potential is there. And if there's enough potential to basically make a living doing it like that, then we're good and dandy, and I'll let everyone know. Now, by no means is this the only thing I'm doing. Like I've said in a previous video, but again, I just want to summarize everything into this one. I have looked into doing a couple other things. I've contacted a couple websites. I've also contacted a couple other channels here on YouTube to see if they would like to maybe do an agreement where I can give them some things. For example, maybe I give them The Hateful Truth as a show that I do twice a month, and that way I'll put more production value into it, and it'll be a lot better show, and they can run it on their stuff, and maybe I get some money for that, you know, a contractual agreement or something like that.
He was actually trying to shop his shit out to other people. This doesn't get brought up because I don't know anybody who may remember. Well, Tevin might remember this. Like Secret Limited, Eddie B43, Proper. Okay, I'm sure there's some people that remember this, but I don't see how that would have any value to them at the moment. But I didn't know that. I didn't know he was trying to shop his shit out to other YouTubers and other gaming sites. I can understand why they didn't do business with you, but I'm really surprised at that. Interesting. So were you already trying to go back to Machinima at this point? Oh, I got so many questions now. Fucking A.
We're going to see what happens. I haven't heard back yet, but it's been 2 days and it was the weekend, so no big deal there. I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, I'm working. I've got other ideas in my head. I've got stuff bouncing around.
So wait. So then theoretically, chat, yeah, he definitely needs that money. But no, think about it this way for a minute, chat. What if Blistered Thumbs didn't reach out to him? What if he had reached out to Blistered Thumbs? And he was trying to work out a deal with them. Maybe that's what happened. No one approached him about shit. He approached them and was like, hey, can we probably do some collabs or whatever. That changes things now. Because remember, we don't have a dedicated audience that he can just beg for money day in, day out. Don't get me wrong, he's still asking for money on his PayPal, but he doesn't have like the access to dents with large pockets and, you know, fucking excuse me, disability checks and fucking government checks and all that bullshit. So he did reach out to other content creators. He did reach out to different gaming websites to try to shop his slop around. Oh boy. So now, see, I don't think Doug would remember you. I don't know if Lord Katz remembers you. And Spoonie's not in any type of position to remember shit about shit. Who the fuck could I talk to from fucking that guy with the glasses who would possibly remember that arrangement? Maybe Doug's brother, but even then, I don't think he would remember. Fuck! Now I want to... Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. Because now I kind of wonder... I just want to know if you approached them for blistered thumbs. Lord Cat would have to know. That's all I want to know. If you reached out to them first. Shit. Big ups for the follow. And what? Let me see if I can see this here. But yeah, big ups for the follow. Appreciate that. But fuck, bro. Now I have so many goddamn questions. All right, let's keep it pushing. We only have another 3 minutes, give or take.
By no means, like I said, am I giving up. I'm being very positive here. I really think I can make it work, considering the amazing fan feedback I've gotten for the past 2.5 months. I really have a positive feeling that this is going to work. And you know, I think there's massive potential here to make it happen. I think it's just a means now of getting the people who used to only follow me on YouTube, and it was easy for them because they use YouTube already, and getting them to understand how Blip TV works and converting those people over to Blip TV, at least to see the stuff ahead of time, you know? I mean, that's a massive advantage. You know, you get to see my videos 2 days ahead of time.
Not really, because if I'm already comfortable with a site, then, you know what I'm saying, and if I really care, I'll just wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, like, there are people that I'd be willing to jump over to another site like Kick or Rumble to check out or whatever. But if you're going to be on YouTube eventually, for the general masses, they may just sit there and wait. And that just is what that is.
Of everyone else that just wants to wait, and we'll be...
I mean, the whole point of you jumping from one platform, the whole point of you like multi-streaming, for example, is to build another audience on another platform. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much to just convert the people that are already with you over there, but to also try to build something on that side as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be your sole focus to convert people for all of you guys to jump from YouTube to my Twitch, for example. I appreciate it if you do it. But, like, you know what I'm saying? It's also to try to build a following over there, too, or Rumble or wherever you're going. So, even in these early days, you should have understood that.
Be lazy just to see them on YouTube.
Wow, did you just call them lazy?
Advantage. You know, you get to see my videos 2 days ahead of time of everyone else that just wants to wait, and we'll basically be lazy just to see them on YouTube.
Oh, fuck, you really did call them lazy. Oh, this is giving me Pokemon Sun and Moon fucking flashbacks. Damn, Phil, you don't give a fuck about nothing.
I mean, that's a massive advantage. You know, you get to see my videos 2 days ahead of time of everyone else that just wants to wait, and we'll basically be lazy just to see them on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's enough incentive to go over there. So we'll see what happens. Give me feedback. Let me know what's going on with that website. Like I said, I have gotten some feedback. People saying that the videos won't load. I understand that because I've used the website myself in the past.
Tim Snortons is the best. I don't know why y'all hating. It's fantastic.
And that has happened to me. It's because, like I said, they don't have the server capacity of YouTube.
And if DSP says Tim Snortons by accident, I'm suing his ass.
They have growing pains. They have problems too. And, you know, we're going to work together to try to work these out.
I do wonder, why is DSP drinking Tim Hortons, though? I am very interested in why that's a thing. I'll just keep that to myself for now. But I am very interested in why that's a situation, though. Like, why in particular, this particular Canadian brand of coffee is all of a sudden an obsession for you. Like, I'm really, really interested on why you did that. Because he's never mentioned... I would have to go into, like, Pig Go. But, like, he couldn't have mentioned Tim Hortons any more than, like, a month or so. Maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember him ever bringing that shit up. But anyway, whatever. I'll look. I'll figure. I'll get on that case eventually.
I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. In fact, I do have good news. We've only been doing this for 2 days on Blip TV. I'm up to almost 100,000 total views in 2 days. So that's overwhelming. I mean, that's crazy. 100,000 views in 2 days is pretty impressive. And if we can keep that up, that's the kind of support that's going to let me be able to do this full time and also do other cool things. Like I said, the other ideas that I had to go ahead and go attend conventions, to give you footage and coverage of events like E3, to go to EVO and do coverage of that and also participate.
Where are you going to get to E3 when you had with no credentials? And you were actually talking about going back to EVO in fucking 2011? Oh, that's right up my alley.
EVO, that's the kind of help that I would need to do that. So, thank you.
Spoiler alert, he never went back to EVO. Oh no, he's not going to Canada. If he was, he'd tell us, but he's not going to Canada. I don't think so. I don't think so. He does, interestingly enough, like have like a 3-day, he has like a 4-day week coming up or some bullshit. And he says he has something to do or whatever the fuck. And then he has like a full 7 days after that, but no, he's not going to Canada. He's not. He's not doing that. He'll go to Disney World in California before he goes to Canada.
Everyone, please keep it up. And I mentioned it 100 times, but I'll just very quickly mention it one more time. Yes, there are trolls all over the internet who don't like me. Ignore them. It's that simple. Don't feed them. Don't even respond to them. Don't defend me against them. Just ignore them. If you ignore them, they'll go away.
This is supposed to be anti-troll propaganda? Excuse me. Holy shit, you were doing it this early? Yikes, son.
The problem is the past couple of days people have seen this and they kind of responded to it. That's called feeding the trolls, and then the trolls just keep responding to you, and you get 700 spam comments of nonsense rather than people who actually want to know what the hell's going on with me.
But I thought everybody liked you and your content, Phil. See what I was deluge, by the way, is that biblical term I was thinking of. Like I said, all of the, like, when you think of like this is how you don't play, that's the birth of detractors. Everything before that, he wants that to be washed away. He doesn't want any of that to exist because that completely kills his narrative that everybody liked him, despite what he's saying here about the 700 trolls that came under his videos over there on blip.tv.
They can't get any information. So that's why I made this video. I think this video has been pretty a good summary, to the point, abrupt, and it explains everything that's going on with me. I want to keep making videos for you guys full time, but I need your help. I need you to go to Blip TV and watch my new videos. So that's it. I'm DSP. Any updates, I'll definitely let you know. But for now, I'm staying positive, and it's looking like this might work out. I'll definitely have more information over the next couple of days as everything refreshes on Blip TV. It actually takes them 3 days to figure out, you know, what the monetization is of the views on your videos. So we'll see what happens in a couple days. But besides that, I'm DSP. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot for your support. Stay positive, and I'll see you later.
That rape face. Jesus, Phil. Yeah, I don't like that at all. One more time, chat.
Views on your videos. So we'll see what happens in a couple days. But besides that, I'm DSP. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot for your support. Stay positive, and I'll see you later.
Look at that shit. Straight predator. Like, just imagine what he was going to do in a few more years, bruh, and all the fucking dents that he was going to end up molesting their wallets for. That's crazy. Oh boy, that's nuts. All right, chat. I have actually one more thing for y'all, and then we will call this a wrap. Let's see here. Huh. Oh shit, they actually found out that Loso fucking did recycle all those bars. God damn, son. That's tough work. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Okay, let's see here. Review tech. All right, we're gonna take a jump over to Review Clip USA, and there's something in particular that I want you guys to see. Since this whole thing with Jeremy or the quartering is a thing, I thought that you guys might like something that Review Clips USA ended up putting together. I'll make this really fast. Here's our little piggy man right here and whatnot. So this right here is the whole quartering Review Tech USA boxing saga. Now, honestly. I am working on a project with Proper and whatnot, and this right here, or at least some of this, is actually a linchpin that I've been looking for, but I couldn't find the raw part of it. But no worries, because Review Clips USA already got it. But that part is not why I'm bringing you into this. I want you to hear how this whole boxing nonsense happened between Rich and the Quarter. That's the reason why this is even here. So big ups to Review Clips USA. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
She went to bed fairly early last night.
Did you see how out of place he looked, bruh? Like, fuck it. Hey, bruh. You are exposed, sir. That's sad. And that your wrist shouldn't roll like that, Rich. But whatever. That's some sad work, bruh. That's unfortunate. That is some unfortunate shit. Oh, anyway, let's keep going. I'm gonna expose you. Expose you. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Rich is fucked. Rich is straight the fuck up. Like, just fucked. For sure, for sure. Let's see here. Oh, here, let's play this.
Lagzalet77 says,
Big ups.
Golden Triangle Gaming, did you ever find any more info on DSP being one of the origins of the word slop being used for online content?
Not yet. I'm still looking though. I'm confident that I'll find it. It's out there. It's out there. For sure. So I'm still looking. But no, I haven't found anything further at the moment. But I'm still out there. I'm still up there in those hills looking for it. I'm sure that my all of my mining will pay off eventually. I'm sure it'll pay off. But as it pertains to Rich here, yeah, he's completely lost his shit. He's completely cracked out for all intents and purposes. To be honest, couldn't have happened to a better person, if you ask me.
She went to bed fairly early last night, but when I went to bed, I put up a poll: should I box the quartering? And that's it. I've added the quartering with other stuff. Usually he ignores me now. Or he responds in 20 minutes.
And this is old too, because like I didn't realize, like I knew Rich had already, like, you know, he had basically pulled himself from the fight and he used his daughter as an excuse. Well, this actually kind of gets into that a little bit further. His daughter was a shield, obviously. So that wasn't the real reason why he got up and out of there. But I also don't believe the narrative that the reason why the quartering review tech fight didn't happen was because the quartering was boxing or being trained by Sam Hyde. That's not what the case is. The real reason why Rich got out of that fight is because he didn't want, he didn't want Sam Hyde or anybody from his clique or audience to start to troll him. That's the reason why he got out. It wasn't because Sam Hyde was boxing with the quartering. That's not the case. He didn't want no problems with Sam Hyde being trolling him. That's why he really wanted out.
Minutes, which means he ignores me. So meant nothing by it. I was just kind of like fucking making fun of the stupid creator. I'm like, oh, who's someone I would box the quartering? Needless to say, he responded back and said he would do it.
And the quartering was what, 6'4", 6'5", 3, like 280 or some shit?
There's some asterisks to that though. Not on the mic is here, not on my end. I won't. We DM'd a few times. He's been cool. He's been respectful of the quartering. My caveats are this though. I don't know anything about promoting a match. Have Keem start promoted. I know you don't like Keem. Jeremy, get over it. Like, nah, dude, we're doing it legit. And for some reason, Jeremy's not starting. Now, apparently, he may get Sam Hyde to train him. Okay. He made a weird statement and like, hey, if you're ready, 8/1/23, man, I'm already going. I went today to the gym and started. Like, hey, Jeremy, if you're ready.
If you haven't seen a Rich stream as of late, that's probably the best description of it. And his gloating as of recent over the quartering and the false flag it bullshit, which is, it's not even ironic. He's literally shitting on the quartering for something that he's done and probably still is doing himself. It's pretty fucking low. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be wrong. Like, Rich's streams were never shit about shit, but like, they're even worse now. Like, you can tell that he's miserable every time he's up there. Like, he's starting to look like DSP, where he's slowly but surely wanting to off himself because he's stuck doing this shit. And it's no fun. He has enemies around every fucking corner. And the one, like, I guess you could say, like, the one place he did have, which was chilling with Detractors, doesn't even mean anything because he ain't pissed the majority of them off. And even Duty can't really stand by him publicly anymore. I'm sure him and Duty are still cool, but Duty can't stand behind him publicly. Even though Duty doesn't mind chilling out with Wings of Redemption. Make of that what you will.
But August isn't that far away, but all right, cool. Let's go. I mean, again, like I said, I'm doing it through a venue. I'm getting paid for this. I don't even, like, I did it as a joke, but hey, if you want to go in, I'll go in. Let's go. So that's really it. That's where it is right now. Use the mouse with the gloves on, but these are real gloves. I signed up to, I have 2 memberships to a gym, to do 2 different gyms. Why? No, I'm not losing my mind. One is like 2 seconds away from me and open 24 hours during the week. How much for 3 a.m.?
Why the hell did you say you have 2 different gym members? Why the fuck you pay for 2 different gym memberships? The fuck are you doing?
Mine. One is like 2 seconds away from, signed up to, I have 2 memberships to a gym, to do 2 different gyms. Why? No, I'm not losing my mind.
Jesus Christ, you're just as stupid with your money as DSP is. That's crazy.
One is like 2 seconds away from me and open 24 hours during the week. How much for 3 a.m.?
Wow.
500. Yeah, the quartering's posting an hour ago. He obviously saw my, like, yeah, he's absolutely saw the quartering is a coward I posted at 7:13 p.m. The boxing glove one I posted 6 hours ago. When was his last post? 10:38 p.m. He saw everything, dude. He's just ignoring it.
Try to relax your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus.
Really?
Try to relax your anus. Your shoulders. Your anus.
Come on, dude.
Your anus. Your anus. Try to relax your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Your anus. Your shoulders.
You don't care about ethics. You don't care about anything. You just care about destroying people because you're hateful. But the good news is I hate you too. And I hope to God that you get in the ring. I do. Because I am going to legally have to make sure I say that. Fuck you up. But I don't think you will.
Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Look where I'm at again. I'm at the gym. Preaching out.
Okay, I'm not gonna take any shots. I think that's a Planet Fitness. I'm not gonna. Jesus Christ, Rich. That's tough. That's real fucking tough, Phil. Oh, not Phil, but Rich. My bad. I mean, I don't know. You guys are the same fucking person anyway. Who gives a shit? You're at a Planet Fitness, bro, trying to get ready for a boxing match? That's what we're doing? All right, then. All right, Rich, Phil, whatever the fuck. That's wild ass work, bro. That's some wild. And then the thing is, though, too, is like Rich is in his like 40s, right? Like I think he's older than Phil, or they're around the same age. How the fuck do all you lol cows look fucked up? How do you guys all look like 30 years older than what you guys should be? Wings is in his, I don't even know if Wings is even in his 40s yet. I don't think. Because I think Wings is the youngest out of all of you. Like LTG might be the old, no, Rich is older than LTG, I'm pretty sure. LTG is older than, well, no, actually, I think DSP might be older than LTG now that I think about it. Chad, help me out. I want to tell you that it's, if we're talking about ages, Rich is the oldest, then it's DSP, then it's LTG, then it's Wings. Okay, Wings is 39, or he's at least in his 30s. So Wings is 39, fucking, what's LTG? Like, he's in his, like, early 40s. He's definitely like 42-ish or some shit like that. He's like 42, 43. DSP is 44. And I think Rich is only a few years older than DSP. I'm gonna have to look into that now. But fucking A, man, you guys all look beat the fuck up. Even LTG, who's in the better shape than all of you. And he definitely looks tore up from the floor up too for his age. That's crazy.
Too familiar with. I'm going to be doing some cardio, do some chest, triceps, and shoulders. So hope you're getting to the gym. It's going to probably be tough with those big purple welts on your back of your feet, though. Those look like they hurt.
Look, man, I am down for it. Could, like I said, it could be January 1st, 2024, New Year's Day. It'll be a way to celebrate. I'll be shirtless with the quartering in the ring. But shit's happening right now. I'm not going to apologize for that. And that's where it stands. Everyone will make more money in this situation, too. And I know if the quartering's serious, which I knew he was training with Sam Hyde, so he is, it'll give him more time to train. Why the fuck would you not? Why, like, are you insane? Neither of us, I know you've lost some weight, but neither of us are fucking, you know, Floyd Mayweather, dude. I'm sure you could use the extra time as well.
Oh, so you were asking for more time at that point. I'm not even going to bring that back. We don't need to do it. But you were asking for more time. All right, this right here is an important segment. Well, not important, but it's an interesting segment.
I tried to set up a boxing match with Review Tech USA and quartering. One in the chat, if you remember this, right? And I'm talking to him like every other day to try to organize this and set it up because the quartering and Review Tech USA were supposed to fight. And when it came down to it, the person that bailed was Review Tech USA. He just didn't show up to anything that we were trying to do.
No surprise.
He's the one that, it wasn't the quartering. I thought I would have put money on it that the quartering would have backed out. But it was Rich.
Yeah, it's all out there.
He
Yeah.
trained with Sam Hyde. Like the quartering actually took this serious. All right. Rich was the one that kept fucking around and not doing it. And
that's 8-Bit Eric in the corner, just in case you guys don't know who that is.
It was like, it made no sense because online, the quartering was relatively quiet and Rich was the one, we're going to fight. Like,
yeah. What the fuck?
That's also DSP shit. When DSP tried to start that bullshit with Viscant, and shit all them years ago in the FGC, and then then DSP behind the scenes wanted for them to do DS chops, so DSP didn't look like a bitch. It's crazy how much these guys have shit in common, bro.
It was so annoying. Well, he kept posting videos from Planet Fitness about how he was going to destroy me. Meanwhile, I had spent thousands of dollars to fly out to parts unknown to get punched in the head by.
Wait, you were flying out to fucking train with Sam Hyde? Like multiple times? Wow. So Rich literally wasted your time and money over some bullshit internet shit. Holy fuck, that's stupid.
Sam Hyde in between filming as Jock Goldstriker on Fish Tank. So the whole season.
So you're on Fish. You were on Fish Tank around that time, or he was on Fish Tank. I should say. That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
A Fish Tank, right in the backyard. Sam Hyde's punching me in the head.
Oh wow!
I never felt better. So then when he backed out,
that's crazy.
I was really bummed because I was really working hard to I dropped 35 pounds at that point. I'd learned how to take a punch, how to fight, how to, all this stuff. And then he was like, Rich was like on the little exercise bike.
What's up with all of you old guys not knowing how to fight though? Like none of you guys ever got into a scrap in school? Like, I mean, don't be wrong. I mean, you'd be surprised what you learn in the schoolyard. But fucking A, bro. Like, did none of you guys have any experience? All right, whatever. It kind of explains why you're all passive-aggressive bitches online, now that I think about it.
Like a Planet Fitness, like, quartering. What are you doing? I'm on the exercise bike. I'm like,
pushed a couple months, and then I was trying to lock down the date, right? Because I can't just say, okay, you're good, right? And mysteriously, we have an event next week. Like, this has to be planned out months in advance, right? So
there has to be medical screening, all that stuff.
There's all these misfit cards throughout the year, and I'm like, will this date work? No. A month later, will this date work? No. And then, okay, this is not going to work.
So then it has nothing to do with Rich's kid. Rich was purposely wasting your time while shitting on you online, trying to make quartering look like a bitch. Oh, wait. Rich literally did a DSP with y'all. That's crazy.
Wait a couple months, and then they'd be planning this one, right? Which is 90 days out. And I'd call him, no. And then he just literally, I've never heard a word from him.
Wait, could Rich actually pass a medical exam, though? Like, do you think that Rich could pass a physical? That's kind of wild now I think about it. I don't know if Rich could have passed the physical. But see, that leads to this thing I was telling you guys about with Proper, that I'm looking into. Like, how is... All right, I'm going to save that. But, like, that's strange. That's really, really weird.
The third no on a date of trying to schedule this thing way in advance, by the way. This
really,
is 90
really
days in advance.
Yeah.
So when I'm trying to get a date, it's like fucking 3 months ahead, right? And he's saying no to this every time. After the third time, I never heard another word about it. I started LOLCAL Live. He came on the show. Not once did he mention, I want to fight the quartering. That just disappeared. He stopped talking about it online. It all
He challenged me for the record. Told Keem, I'm going to promote it. I promise you, but I don't want to, like, I want to get like fit before I take a picture without my shirt on.
Yeah,
like I didn't want to, I wanted to be.
Yeah.
That was your biggest mistake, though. You should have promoted this fight from the very beginning, because it
forced him to not say no.
It would have put so much pressure on Rich.
The breaking news.
It wouldn't have. As I get what Keemstar's trying to say there, but it wouldn't have. Rich would have just found another reason to get out. I mean, theoretically, he used his daughter to get out. So it wouldn't have changed anything, to be honest with you. He would have just taken that poor girl and thrown her in front of the masses even sooner. So no. Like, no, to be honest with you. Especially what he ended up doing to that girl later, putting her up there with the face mask and all that ridiculous shit. No, it wouldn't have changed anything.
That the quartering is a giant pussy in public. So here we go. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. I have breaking news. The quartering is...
Look at those poor women walking away being like, oh my God, I don't know what that weird man's doing. I think he's homeless.
a giant pussy. Thank you.
That's all.
Jesus Christ.
Remember the whole thing
Rich.
with me.
All right, enough of that. Jesus Christ, Rich. Oh, that's a sad state. All right, chat. That's pretty much the. I'm so dejected after that last part. Oh man, I thought that shit in the mall was gonna be funny, and it's just kind of sad. Actually, it's pretty pathetic. Big ups to Review Clips USA though for that. Matter of fact, here I'll drop that in the description if you guys want to check it out. All right, let me drop this in the description for you guys. And good God, Rich, I saw so many glimpses of DSP in that more than even I want to admit. That was pretty shameful. Oh man, that's crazy. He purposely went out of his way to waste those people's time. That's fucking wild ass work. That's some wild ass shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys all coming out and whatnot. Didn't know that it was gonna go the way it did as it pertains to the blip.tv thing. But as usual, I'm surprised. I'm glad that it did. To be honest, I think a lot of that needed to be seen. And give me just a second here. What are we going with? I'll just choose the same song. I just need to make sure that it's playing through the right sources. It is. And just wild shit. Just absolutely wild shit. Hopefully some of you guys look back at the blip.tv situation kind of with a new perspective. Because, yeah, there was a lot of things wrong. There was a lot of things that DSP said or has told us that didn't fall out the way he said. It definitely changes my perspective on a lot of things, to be honest with you. So that's something for me to go ahead and chew up later on. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Next stream, if someone reminds me, I will throw some boxing in there because there is the Benavidez fight coming up. And Motividia did a fucking fantastic video on that shit leading up to it. So I'll try to do a stream before that fight, and we can at least talk about that a little bit going forward. And whatever other shenanigans that any of these lol cows have coming up. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves, people. Enjoy your weekend. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, have a good time and shit. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later, people. Thank you for coming to the stream.